Hey, all right, Adam, Sean, David, Ryber. Hey, all right. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. Appreciate it. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. I'm going to try to get this pulled up on my big TV here so I can see what you guys are seeing and try to correct any faux pas. There we go. All right. Cool. Like I said, hope everybody's doing well. Ryburn, got your card today. Thank you. I appreciate no goat or the necklace of teeth. That was awesome. Thank you, sir. uh, and David, Dave, now that you're on here, thank you again. So I can say it to you personally for sharing your pictures and your video with me. A lot of people seem to like your video. In fact, it's got more views than the preview video for tonight's auction. So thank you again for sharing. I appreciate that, buddy. And the track looks fun. Like I said, maximum use of space. Awesome. Hey, Ted, thank you for showing up, buddy. Hope you're having a good weekend as well, too. U of M. At the beach, life is good. Well, Adam, yeah, I wish I was at the beach. It feels like it's the beach here today. In wonderful Springfield, Missouri, it was just below 90 degrees, but with the humidity, we broke into the 90s, obviously. So it felt like ocean water with the humidity being around, but no lake or ocean close. Hey, Sean, thank you for showing up, buddy. Hey, Zims, thank you. Good evening. Not as bad as Cali, no. In fact, the one time that I've only been to Houston, Texas, one time in my whole life, and all I can remember is it being as hot at night as it was in the morning. It was insane. So literally, took a shower in the morning, walked out of the hotel room at 7 o'clock, and it was one of those, where you had to go outside and go down. And anyway, long story short, by the time we got to the car, I was in a full blown sweat. I was like, why did I even bother showering? I was caked in sweat before we even got to the car. All settled in. No, I wish I was all settled in. It was like I explained to Dave earlier today when he reached out to me. In my search for the dyno and the gauze meter, I was clearing off the table of the boxes that I'd set up there to get room, and noticed more damage on my track than what I'd originally um, had seen. So it's going to take a little more work to get it back just to where I was, but that's okay. Hey, at least I moved. At least it's up, and it's nothing that can't be overcome. And then on the flip side of that, I've been trying to locate the giveaway cars, and that was something that I'm going to be putting up a poll tomorrow for everybody that's a subscriber on the channel, and then that way I can get everybody's input. What kind of a body style would you like to be have given away? A stock car or an F1 style? Those are the two choices that are going to be there. So on both the TYCO and the Mega G Plus giveaway. So. And then while I'm mentioning new stuff, while I'm doing the poll, look for that to come out tomorrow. It'll be up all week, and like I said, I'll on the next live feed next Saturday night, I will let everybody know what the tally was, and then I'll actually show the cars that we're going to be working on because I've got them. I just need to know which ones they are. And then and today, in my haste of trying to uncover and find what I was looking for to try to assemble, I reburied everything again because I didn't pull them out. I found the box, but I didn't pull them out. I was like, oh, there they are. And I just kept going. But anyway, so long story short, things are going to be moving on a little quicker. But tomorrow, I'm going to start what I call Sunday Slot Car Showcase. And that's where I'm going to do a little 60 seconds, 1 minute short. And then I'm just going to start with one case. And then every Sunday, I'm just going to post out a new case video of the cars and the cases. So that'll be something to kind of look forward to, because that's a I've tried holding the camera that's on the tripod up there and doing it, and it's just so shaky, it's pathetic. I actually get something better when I do my phone because it has the anti-jarring stuff. So I'm going to try that out and see how that works. So see if you guys like that. Hey, Rich. 90 degrees in Vegas right now. Yeah, Rich, but it's a dry heat. I say that in jest. Hot is hot no matter where you're at. Okay, will do, Dave. Thank you, buddy. No, I haven't, Ted. I haven't seen a lot of the new stuff. I just barely got to catch up on the new Auto World releases. Their little monthly. Really excited to see those 240Zs and the street version and the race version. I'm not excited about having to pay for the car just to get the body, just so I can race it. But that's something, one of those things, kind of like these Mustangs that I did. That's one of those things that I think I'll probably invest in, because I like that body style. And those things just look like little bullets, in my opinion. So, is it on their website, or where did you see it advertised, or was it on Facebook, or? Yeah, and is it an older F100? The F100, yeah, it'd have to be old, like 50, what, 56, 57, somewhere in there. Anything but NASCAR. Okay, so I have a vote for F1 right off the bat on the poll. I can see that. Sorry, I'm catching up. Hey, hey, Rick. I'm glad to hear that you got the car and it turned out okay. I just haven't had a chance to reply to your email, but trust me, that's what I do on Sundays. Is I get out invoices if anything sells tonight. Which, once again, I do want to remind everybody. I'll even put it in the description. No pressure to bid or buy anything. I enjoy chatting with all my slot car friends. So even if you don't drop a dime or make a bid one, don't feel like you're intruding or barging in. I enjoy the interaction with everybody. So please don't let that be a determining factor on whether or not you join in on the chat with us live, or join in anytime, because there's no pressure to buy anything. And as everybody knows that has purchased from me, I show you everything that's wrong with the car. I tell you what's wrong with the car. And then, I'm not, like I said, no used car salesman and no hidden fees. So, oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I have I mean, I'm not the brightest bulb in the chandelier, guys. I mean, I'll fully admit it. I'm no valedictorian or salutatorian or anything like that. So I can respect the people that put in the time and the work and the effort to be that smart. I just had different things that I'd rather be smart in than one certain subject. So I'm more of a liberal arts kind of guy. But I've noticed that the trends on the auctions on what sells and what doesn't. And I wish I had more of what did, obviously, but now I know what to keep my eye on the lookout for more, and I'll start steering my stuff in that direction. Yeah, Rich, I'm right there with you. I had it on the TVs while I was frantically going through a bajillion boxes. In case you missed the last live feed, like I mentioned, my tip to anybody that is moving: label every box specifically with what's inside of it, instead of just packing it and putting a general, like I put on mine, man cave. Well, that tells me the room it goes into, but it doesn't tell me what the hell's in the damn box. So there's my tip to anybody that may be thinking about moving, or moving unexpectedly, like I did in haste. It's not worth the hassle of the 10 extra seconds that it takes to write something than it is spending hours digging through boxes and trying to find stuff. So, oh, nice. Hey, Ed, thank you for stopping in, buddy. Oh, wow. Cool. I'm so glad to have 9 of you guys here with me tonight, man. Like I said, it's summertime. You know, I get it. Or Studebakers. Falcons or Studebakers. Nice. Well, you know what they say about the Falcons is, you know, they were basically the first Mustang. So, and then the Fox body Mustang, like what I own, is basically a Fairmont. So that's why we get shit on that. You know, it's a fast Fairmont. You know, it's funny how car manufacturers use different platforms and then stick another body on it, which is going to become more the norm because it's cheaper for them to manufacture one lower base with electric vehicles and then stick another type of body on it than it is to do the varying wheelbases and stuff like that. So, um, variety is soon going to be coming to an end. What is PB? Patch Blue Ribbon, maybe? Or is that PBR? Or peanut butter? I don't know. Oh, power steering. Power brakes. Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Thank you. Oh, and Dave, yeah, no, I noticed that on your track whenever I was watching the video when I was putting everything together that you had used some of those AFX catch fences and I've heard a lot of good things about them and I was just going to ask if those were working out for you like Dan at Slot Valley Racing has some and I think the mayor has some. And if you guys haven't had a chance, you guys, if you're ever interested in like your like a dream track or looking at well, like one of those Viper tracks or something like that, Mark at Mark's Slot Car Garage has a whole little series of from the day he got his in the box to the way he opened it to the assembly, how he had to run the rails, how he had to put in the power taps, and how you know just all the obstacles that you don't think about when you purchase something out of pure excitement until you get it and then realize that when you're putting these things together these are things you maybe should have considered like one thing that he ran into which is something I would have not even thought about until his video popped up and that was the rail depth is shallower on a Viper track than it is on an AFX or an Auto World track so he's having to modify all of his Mega G Plus cars that have those longer guide pins to be able to run them on that track. Or the vice versa, you could try to buy a shorter pin, but honestly, it's just easier to take that little bit off of the Dremel, in my opinion, than it would be to spend the money on a whole separate guide pin. But regardless, those are some things you just don't think about. So literally, he's going to have to modify every pin on every Mega G Plus car that he has to be able to use it on that track. And then he has a nice problem to have. On one side of his garage, he's got this brand new nice table with the Viper track on it. And on the other side, he's got a really kick-ass 4-lane looking AFX track on it. And that's a nice problem to have. He goes, you know, he was thinking about taking down the AFX one, and his wife told him no. And I'm with his wife. Don't take it down. You know, if you have more than 4 people show up, that's a good way to swap around and show the benefits of, you know, old school track versus new technology track. So I think I think that'd be pretty cool to have both tracks literally, you know, 6 apart from each other. Yeah, I agree with you, Ted. Hey, Cliff, thank you for joining in, man. Cheers. Hey, Mark. Yes, I am, buddy. Were your ears burning? And I'm glad your daughter liked the M&M car, man. Sorry about the tires, but like I mentioned in the videos, you know, whenever I sell the cars, my main thing is A, that they run, and then B, that you know, the body and everything looks good on it and it fits right, and then I point out any flaws and stuff like that. So yeah, they always will need some oil, and I can almost 99.9% guarantee they're going to at least need back tires. So honestly, like I mentioned in my comment to you, I was impressed that that car, being as old as it is and being in my case, has been in my case for 7 years. So you know, it's not like it's been sealed. So I was impressed actually that the front tires didn't rot off. Kind of like the one tonight, this um, Earnhardt. If you remember, way back when, I can't remember who asked me in one of my live feeds, but they asked me if I had an Earnhardt car that I'd be selling coming up, and voila, well, here it is. And I said that I need to get tires on it because it was from one of those twin packs, and the tires were, since it was cracked open, the tires had literally dry rotted to the point that when you touched them, they were cracked and they just fell off. And so now, but obviously, you know, I've got that problem fixed and it's got new tires on it. But that just shows you the what just being exposed and time will do to that old rubber and stuff. It just deteriorates. Oh, U of M. Yeah. See, anybody that doesn't know what U of M is talking about there is he's talking about Brad Bowman and Bad Brad's Tracks. He's on Facebook. I know that for a fact, and I know he has his web page. I'm not sure exactly. I think it's just called Brad's Tracks if you Google it. But he does custom routed tracks, and it's like I've mentioned to somebody. They are literally just works of art. And um, if you haven't checked out those tracks, if you're looking at custom tracks, I would strongly suggest checking out his stuff and looking at it because they are. It's like I said, he's a true craftsman. I wish I had that ability that he has, but he's been doing it for so long. In fact, I think he did a full scaled down 1/64th replica for the European 24-hour HO race of Le Mans. So he did a Le Mans routed track to 1/64 scale, and obviously that they could take apart and put together in a gymnasium for their 24-hour races that they have over there. And so he actually did that all out of wood. Oh yeah. Hey man, U of M, I'd love to have your track. So yeah, no, it's it's you know, there's a lot of good builders. Is I guess what I should just point out there is, I mean, is you can go prefab like Mark did. You can go like Dan did and build your own, you know, which is cool, which is I think is badass. You know, when he's building his drag strip with Dan with Slot Valley Racing. If you haven't checked out that video series of him making his drag strip, I would strongly suggest you go check it out. I can't wait to see it all finished, and it's a 3-lane drag strip, and I can't wait to see them all running. Or you know, like Ted, you know, you got the routed tracks too. So you got biker tracks, you got your homemade tracks, you know, AFX tracks. You know, you see what like Shaky Dave and I are doing, and like the mayor. You know, we're using AFX or Auto World track. You know, it makes no difference on what you have and what you use. The bottom line is just get out there, race, and have some fun. That's what this hobby is all about, is having fun. And someone gave me the ultimate compliment, and I'm not going to call them out or embarrass anybody, but they said, thank you for what I do for the hobby. And I want to reciprocate that to everybody that's on this channel tonight. Thank you for what you do for the hobby. Because if I was sitting here talking to myself and nobody was watching, then I'm not really benefiting the hobby in any way, shape, or form. But if I have other people interacting, then that grows the YouTube algorithm, and then it gets suggested to other people that may not even think about slot car racing. And who knows, like I told Dave today, you may have inspired somebody that didn't think they had enough room to put up a good 4-lane track, that you showed them that you could buy a door like a lot of people do at Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever, and get creative and make a track out of it. And where there's a will, there's a way. And so I, you know, hopefully inspire somebody. So that's the whole thing, is that, you know, by all of us participating tonight, and those of us that make videos, we're all moving the hobby forward. So thank everybody for doing it, because, you know, without everybody's participation, you know, that's how we get the word out. So, you know, when the more people that participate and watch everybody else's videos and gives them thumbs up and likes them and shares them with new friends or family members or whatever, or people they work with, you know, hey man, you know, this is this guy's channel I've been talking about at work. Here, I'll share one of my videos. That helps everybody's channels when you do that. So thank you guys for doing that. You know, we all appreciate that. Yeah, see, there's the thing. When you're good, you're in high demand, and so there's a quick tip to a smart person. If somebody's got a year plus waiting list that does tracks, that's a pretty good indication that they're pretty good at what they do, because people aren't going to be willing to fork down a deposit and wait over a year and a half to get their track set up. So I'm right there with you, but that also shows that you know, with, you know, like everything, you know, you you got to rob Peter to pay Paul. There's no free puppy in the window. You may have the money to pay for it, but you're going to have to wait in line just like everybody else did. And if you're good at what you do, then you can afford to tell people, sorry, you're going to have to wait. And Brad's tracks are that good. So I get it. And then I also get the inexpensiveness and the quickness. If you watch Mark's videos, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, but I mean, you had a running track in less than 2 weeks from the time you got it to the time you had all 4 lanes running with the electrical and the jumpers and everything that you did, from the table building and it all. I mean, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks by the time you had to build in the table and stuff. You had a kick-ass running 4 lane track like that, you know. And for simplicity's sake, you can't beat it. I mean, boom. You know, that's a whole lot easier than what I'm doing, and like what Dave had to do, or some others that work with, like you had to do with your original AFX track, is try to get it all level and try to get the seams to line up and make sure each lane had the right electricity, because sometimes those little things get bent away and they don't touch, you know, right there when they're connecting, when you're pushing the tracks together. So it's just a myriad of little hassles that you don't have to go through when you buy one of those Viper tracks. Yeah. Well, see, that's what I've been doing is I also work from home, obviously. Thank you to Bullhorn for sponsoring tonight's extra videos, video screens. But whenever I take breaks and stuff like that, since I know I've been here a month, but since poorly labeled boxes, I have got stuff for the kitchen out in the garage. I've got stuff for the garage in my bedroom. It's just a whole mess. So long story short, I've been putting boxes in the rooms that they belong, and then now I'm slowly but surely, I've been working on the kitchen first, and trying to get it taken care of. But yeah, so I've been unpacking and taking advantage of breaks and lunches and stuff like that without having to worry about that. Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm hoping to show, and um, I'm going to continue the dig tomorrow. I think I may have left the box that I was looking for out at my parents' house, because if you remember, whenever I moved the first time, I moved all my slot car stuff out there, because I knew that the other place didn't have room for it, and I may have not just grabbed the other box. So hopefully I can start getting the track together and start actually showing some races on Saturday night, maybe skipping the auction and just going straight into some racing or something like that after some chats or whatever. But at the very least, I'd like to try to get those cars that I'm building for the giveaway to run on the track. But like I also mentioned to somebody in one of my reply comments, I'm guessing that the cars will be built before the track is done, just based on the extra damage that I found and the time frame that I'm trying to. There's only so many hours in the day, and when you have to work 9 of them, when you're at work for 9 of them, then that takes a chunk out of it, so that you're limited on the other stuff you can do. So I'm trying. I'm going to get it there. But like I said, I'm going to put out the poll this week for the types of cars. I can already see that we're leaning towards the Indian F1 style, and that's fine with me. I got both either way. And then once we get those done, then the first build I'm going to do is the Mega G Plus, because it's the simplest. And honestly, there's not a lot of things I can show you about doing things to the motor with it other than where to put oil. But the one I was hoping that while I was doing that video and the time in between, that I would find my dyno, so I could show what like a stock brand new TYCO 440X2 would run. And then I'm going to be building this one for the maximum that can be used with wall wart power packs. So it's not going to be maxed out to the point to where, in case you weren't aware, you can make a little slot car draw so much amperage that it robs all of the juice for the other lane. My point being, some of my lower ohm TYCOs on a wall wart track, if you plug it in and you stick one of my cars on it, you can just hold it wide open because it doesn't put out enough juice to make the car go quick enough to overcome the magnet downforce that it has. But then B, if someone else puts a car on the track, and unless I let off, they get no juice. So I'm gonna make sure and not build it like that, because I want it to be able to be used on someone that hasn't spent the money on a separate power supply. So I'm probably going to leave the armature stock and just do a little hop up with the motor magnets and stuff like that. So I do want it to be able to be used on a what I call a wall wart power pack track, so two people could race on the same time with the car instead of just one person doing hot laps on the track. And that's kind of fun for a little while, but after a while you want to race somebody. So yeah, see, Mark, yep, there you go. You're the perfect example. See, like my power supply, and I think yours does it too. Whenever I pull the trigger, it shows how many amps are being drawn um, from the power, from whatever is sucking down the power from it. So, yep, yep. And yeah, those hopped up cars, you just, I know this firsthand with those things, because when I tried to do I put up one of those sight and sound NASCAR TYCO tracks in the living room at that old place, and I couldn't. Long story short, whenever I ran one of my hopped up TYCO cars on it, and a buddy of mine that came over to race, and he put his on, that's how I found out. I could literally hold mine wide open and go around flat corners. It had no banks on it whatsoever, and he couldn't even move his car. It wouldn't let him draw enough electricity. In fact, if I ran my car too long, since it was drawing everything that wall wart could handle, the controller started stinking like it was melting. So I just quit. um, Ed, I tell you what I would personally do is go to the Viper website, look at the one that they sell, and then get the specs from it, and then do it like I did, and then go to Amazon and try to find one cheaper. Because I think you can get them the very same one on Amazon for like 40 to 45 bucks. Am I right? Hey, I'm all about helping out everybody. I mean, I get it where Viper is taking advantage of the simplicity of someone saying, "Oh, well, I bought a track. I just need to go ahead and order a power supply. I don't want to worry about it." But the easy way is not always the cheapest way. I'll put it that way. Hey, Adam, you're back. All right, that's so cool. I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? Last week I got started late because I got talking. Oh, we're about to auction time. So before we get started on the auction, yeah, what part of the ocean? We all want to know what part of the ocean you enjoying, Adam. You down in the Gulf? You on the Atlantic side? Where you at? While he's doing that, while he's replying, I'm gonna go ahead and get the stuff pulled up for the first car. I've got them actually bookmarked tonight, so I pulled right to it. Last time I was at any type of bay at all, I was on a beach in Florida, and Cocoa Beach, but that was like 20 years ago. Oh, so you're in the Carolinas then. So you're near Kill Devil Hills? Isn't that where he lives? Wright Brothers was right. Yep, right there. Okay, cool. Be sure and get a lot of selfies next to that bad boy. I bet your kids will be able to fit inside one of those rims on one of those tires. Oh, no shit. Wow. That is too cool. Now, don't get any wild ideas and try to go taking flight. They crashed a lot, from my understanding. Sorry, I'm trying to find this one. Then we'll get started with the auction tonight. I'm sorry if there's someone tuned in for the auction. I'm sitting here rambling. Yeah, yeah, slightly warm. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all 16, everybody. It's a 7:30, so I'll go ahead and try to get started. Adam, enjoy the beach for all of us that are landlocked right now. I want to say thank you again to everybody for showing up tonight and your patronage and your guys' support of the hobby. Like I said, just even if you're not here to bid or buy anything, that's fine. I encourage people just to stop by and join in on the chat. And even if you don't want to join in on the chat, at least you may learn something about the cars that we're going to show tonight. So you may get a little lesson. And then like U of M dropped off, Road Racing Replicas just came out with a new F100 Ford truck. So you just never know when someone's going to drop some more education on you or let you know of the new product coming out or something that you may have not heard about or seen that may interest you. So there's always a lot of good benefits to joining in live on us. And even if you're not live and you watch it later, which 90% of the people that watch this video later are going to be doing, please, if you see something in the chat and you've got something to add, throw it down in the comments. As everybody here knows, I usually reply in the comments within 3 days if possible. And that way we can try to make you as interactive with the channel as possible, because that's the whole reason why I've done it. Is if it's your first time coming by, I did this channel to share my knowledge and to gain knowledge from other people out there, and so we can all share each other's knowledge and spread the wealth, so to speak, and we'll help everybody out with questions and get some more people into the hobby, or maybe remind them if they were in the hobby back in the past, get them back into it because of how much more, how much fun it is and what a great community of people that are involved with it. So that's what I look forward to. Yeah, see, Mark, the last time I was in Florida, the humidity reminded me of Houston. and honestly, what's been going on here in Missouri reminds me of being in Florida. It's sunny, 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 rain, and then the clouds go away, and then sunny, sunny, sunny. So it gets it nice and good and humid. So tonight's first car is our Dale Earnhardt here. And it's a Monte Carlo. And if you have a TYCO Bible that you're wanting to follow along on, it's on page 48. And there she blows. Oh, hell yeah. That'd be cool, Zim. Yeah, see, I watch those people make those bodies and I'm jealous. Because there's a lot of cars I'd love to be able to, but then when I look at how much time it just takes, and I'm like, oh God, I can't. The time, I just can't do it. What number was he? Number 8. All right, number 8, black, white, red, Goodrich, This one came from the twin pack, like I mentioned earlier, and that twin pack is the comes with the NAS truck. This is the part number TW for twin pack 9137. So this isn't the one that was sold individually in the blister packs that you can buy. This is the one that came in the twin packs. And this is a new old stock. If you didn't see the preview video, it's never been ran, and it now has new tires on it. They're newer TYCO tires, so I wouldn't call them performance tires, and they are still pretty hard. But at least they're not cracked and falling off like the old original ones are when I first showed you guys this car when I first got it. So it's a good looking car. Any questions on this Earnhardt NASCAR? I know we don't have a lot of NASCAR fans on here, but this is a fairly desirable car in the world of slot cars, just because of the Earnhardt legacy. His son's car actually goes for more money than his car does, but that's just generational thing. But anyway, this is a new old stock. The only ones I could find on eBay right now were that was a brand new one was $75. I'm going to start my bidding at $60, which is obviously $15 less. If this is your first time, 60, basically, if no one else bids, you say $60. Then if no one else bids, then you just bought it for $60 plus shipping to your door. I don't charge any fees, no taxes, no boxing fees, no extras. And I do offer a 100% money back guarantee once you receive the car for any reason, but I do not refund the shipping costs to and or from. I can't do that. I'm sorry. So, but once again, it's a great looking car. It's never even been in my case. It was just cleaned up, bubble wrapped, and then I put tires on it and got it ready for auction. Yeah, that's it right there. All right, so just like always, no pressure for anybody to bid or buy anything. I'm going to run it for 5 minutes. And once it gets to the like the 3-minute mark, which would be like 2 minutes left, then if no one's bid on it, then like I said, I'm not here to force anything on anybody. If it gets to that point, no one's bid on it, then we'll just end it and we'll go to the next car. No biggie. Like I said, just trying to help out if I can. If there is someone that's interested in it and you've seen it on eBay for those prices, then you know that $60 for a brand new one is a fair price. And then considering you're not going to pay taxes or somebody's absorbent shipping costs and the actual shipping costs to your door, that'll help save you some money in the long run too. So there we go. So this could easily be a runner if you chose it to be for the first time ever, or stick it up in your case. Either way, she's a beaut if you're an Earnhardt fan. I've got a couple of the cars and the trucks, and I got his little hauler with the Lumina. Like I said, whether you like the man or not, he could drive. And believe it or not, he used to drive a Ford at one point in time. And little known fact I'll throw out, like I said, you just never know what kind of stuff you're going to learn on this channel. But Dale Earnhardt, in every car he raced, had a custom built seat that had a 65 Mustang lower in it, because that was the feel that his butt liked whenever he was racing. So he had a custom made seat that NASCAR allowed him to have, and it came from a Mustang. Pretty cool. One of those little facts you probably never knew about. All right, so we're going on 2 minutes. So if in one more minute no one's interested in it, then we'll just push old Earnhardt off to the side, and we'll like they do on Mikamoto auctions, the sale will go on. No big deal. So yeah, 1 more minute. We'll go ahead and get the. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on some of the stuff I might have missed on the other. 20 seconds. I'm guessing no, but I don't. Like I said, I like to be a man of my word. If there is someone thinking there at the last second that they just want to try to get it for the $60. Rick, okay, Rick. 5 seconds. Cool. All right, Rick, it's yours, buddy. I'm just going to stop it right there. Congratulations, Rick. $60. I've got your information, so I'll send you the PayPal request and an email tomorrow. So congratulations on a great looking car, buddy. Like I said, brand new. Can't beat it. Goodbye. So let's slide the old. Got a Thunderbird here. I love that one, Ed. You know why? Because Terry Labonte still won the race. Yeah, no, I watched that one too because I was pissed that he wrecked him, but then I was happy that he won. You know that Labonte won because I was going to be really upset if Earnhardt screwed him out of winning that race. All right, so the next one we have coming up here is obviously I can't explain it much better than this. It's obviously brand new. This is their classic series. This is the 57 Ford Thunderbird is 57 T-Bird as it's listed right there. And then the part number of 9023. I was trying to see the date on the back. 1992. So it's like 31 years or yeah, 31 years old, 32 years old, somewhere in there. Still in the package. And then those are some of the other cars in the collection on it. This is a 3, believe it or not, because of this special classics that they have there. So I was going to start this one off at 35. If nobody had any questions, we can go ahead and get started on it. And I'm going to go back to my timer instead of the counter. Dave, are you still on here? Did you want me to bid for you? Because I know you reached out to me and said you didn't know if you were going to be able to make it tonight. So I know Dave's in it for at least the first bid of $35. So if someone wants to bid more than 35, Dave has the first bid. And there's the clock. So if you don't have one of these Thunderbirds and you want one to go run around the track, and you like the HP7 chassis just because it's a little more loosey-goosey, but it's still fun because it swings out the ass end and stuff. You know, this Thunderbird's a good one to have. Plus, it's got the chrome rims on it, and it's a baby blue one. But if you like it just to hang on your wall, like what I have, that's why I'm getting rid of this one. I've got another one that's on the wall, so I'm just kind of paying it forward with this one, and basically just trying to get in at what I got out of it. That's why I started out at 35. And I'll try to see if there's anything specific that might be different about that car while we're waiting here real quick. I've not seen any. Okay, Dave, I got you, buddy. I think you're gonna, unless someone starts bidding, I think you're going to get it for the 35, which would be a good buy, man. You'll have in it what I have in it. That's not a bad price. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm flipping through the book. I thought I had this one marked, but apparently I didn't. I had the wrong page marked. And they don't necessarily go in order in this book on the chassis or the years, which is kind of disgruntling whenever you're trying to find stuff. I don't know that there's much more I can add on it than what I already have, but I thought I'd try to see. No, okay. Well, obviously I passed it in my fit of anger, but suffice to say, we know that this one's at least 31 years old, 32 years old, somewhere in there. And brand new in the package. It comes on the HP7 chassis, and it's part of their classic series. And Dave right now has the bid at $35. What he's got on this one. Beautiful looking car. There we go. Yeah. So, well, if nobody wants to, I'm just going to throw this out there. So, I mean, we don't have to bore everybody. If no one wants to bid against Dave, I'll just sell it to him now for the 35. Is everybody good with that? If you're good with it, just give me a thumbs up. You don't even have to answer. Just give me a thumbs up and I'll know that we can end it and sell it to Dave and move on. Like I said, I'm not here to push anything on anybody, but I do want to give everybody a fair shot if you're considering it. I don't want to rush anybody, but I don't want to bore anybody either. You good? Okay, cool. Congratulations, Dave. You got it for $35, buddy. Goodbye. Like I said, that sometimes you get cars exactly for what I paid for them. That's exactly what I paid for that car, $35. So I'm not making a dime on it. That's just my way of paying it forward, because I see somebody on eBay right now selling them for $40 plus like 10 something shipping. So that, you know, $50. That's, you know, I just want in it what I got out of it, and then that way I can help pay it forward. So that's how I can try to help. You know, somebody else may get it cheaper, you know, but I can only do what I can do. All right. Now, I am going to dig out the information on the next one here, because this is a Gulf Porsche. Now, to those of you that aren't familiar with this Porsche, there are several different versions of this one, and I'm going to explain the version of mine whenever I open up the book so I don't get it wrong. But suffice to say, the one thing that I'm going to point out that's the easiest, and that is there is a version that does not have the stickers on it. There is one that is just all blue. So if you see one of those, you've got to make sure that it's an original one that was meant to be that way versus one that someone just took the stickers off of to make it look that way, which is kind of hard to do based on the body molding color. So just beware. Like I said, if you're a collector out there, there's several of them. And if you are looking for the one that does not have the numbers or the advertisements on the sides, like you can see right there, then yeah, you want to make sure that it's the right molded chassis. So like this one's a lighted chassis, by the way. It's on a curb hugger. The light does work. It does run. And this is the specific for a year. And I'll open it up and tell you guys about that. All right. See, I did have it marked this time. The right page. Okay, so this particular model of this car, sorry about that, the dog decided to hit the camera. 1976. But 1976 is the version that you're looking at here. It does go all the way back to 1971, and they have a TYCO Pro chassis underneath them. But so this curb hugger lighted chassis version is from, and if you're looking at it as a collector, this specific version, the part number is 8523, and it has a availability of a 3, which is a common car is what they call that, you know, but it's still a good collector value. So that's based on a scale of 1 to 5. So it's right there in the middle. They made a lot of years of it. So from 71 all the way up to 77. So, but depending on the chassis, depends on the year. So this specific one, 1976. Any questions on it? Like I said, that's pretty interesting. And just to give you an idea, there it is in the book. And then this is what I wanted to show you is this whole square section right here is nothing but that car and the different variations of it. And that's a lot. And so there's a lot of different I have two variations. I've got one with the numbers like this, and I've got one of the ones without the numbers on it. But we're only worried about this one tonight. This one I'm going to be selling for $35 also, which compared to what I've once again seen on eBay with the wrong chassis and or they don't have the lighted chassis underneath it, even though it would be a lighted body. That's a fair price. Some of them don't even have all the stickers on them. So I'm going to start this one out at $35 also. Obviously, if you couldn't tell from the high def pictures, I am going to point out, just like I always do, I'm not a used car salesman. I point out flaws. That way nobody thinks I'm trying to hide anything. If you couldn't already tell, some of the stickers are showing some wear on both sides, some of the little advertising stickers, but they all are there. It's just to what degree that they may be worn off a little bit. And then you can see there on the top, the number 8 kind of worn off. And then you also see right there that row of stacks has been broke off on the top. So it's only got one row of chrome stacks. So like I said, I want to be completely honest with everybody about any flaws on any of the cars. Still a great looking car. It still runs. Like I said, it's on a lighted curve hugger chassis, and it is lighted and it does work. So if you did choose to run it, you could. And it even comes with some of those cool 70s tires. That's what I think's cool about it. That's how I bought it. That's how I left it. Made sure it ran, light worked. So it's pretty cool. If you're looking for something probably straight from the mid 70s, this is it. All right, so we'll start it there. There we go. Yeah, Rick, it did. Yeah, that's see, I knew that before that show, but that they mentioned it in there. And yeah, for the you got to think of it. 1971 is when this one first came out. I mean, damn. I mean, I'm jealous of the quality that they had of the cars back then and the durability. I mean, they have this one looks authentic, you know, and they got the colors right, the shades right, and all that stuff. But it's durable, you know. After all these years, you know this one's been played with. You know it's been ran. And for just the little amount of damage that it has on it, and then for those stickers, because some of those water slide stickers, you know. Oh yeah, Dave's in at 35 on this one, so we've got a $35 on this one already. So thank you, Dave, for your bid. He's fell in love with the baby blue tonight, and if you're like me and you're an old school racing guy, anytime you see those Gulf colors, it's just see, it brings a smile to your face. So I think you could put that on a VW Bug and make people want to buy it just because it had those Gulf colors on it. Like I said, it's just that baby blue, and it's just nostalgic to me. Oh yeah, I completely agree, Jeff. This one looks more real here while we got a couple minutes, so I can. This would be the Aurora version, I believe he's discussing. See, now there's nothing wrong with this one. This still looks cool and all. But this one, this is how it really looked. Nice little comparison. All right. Sorry, I had to see one of the stickers I stuck on there. This is one of the ones from my childhood. All right, we're at the 2 minutes left mark, and Dave's at 35. We'll go good with those other Porsches you have, my friend. It's not chrome, but when you get yours, if you haven't already, I hope you like the way your chrome one turned out. Like I said, I got it as best I could. And you have to be really gentle when you're cleaning these guys, as a little tip. Even though I use Novus, I don't get the car wet with it. I use a Q-tip and Q-tip them clean with the Novus, and then lightly polish them with the microfiber towel to make sure that I don't get rid of any of those water slide decals. That would be my tip. So if you're going to clean them, you can use Novus, but don't. I personally don't spray it on there directly for the risk of making the adhesion break loose for some reason and ruining what's left of the stickers. So less than a minute, and Shaky Dave is getting him another cool looking Porsche. Be a good looking car so you go around your track with those bank corners, being able to see that top side a lot. All right, 30 seconds. Yeah, we're kind of on a Porsche kick tonight, if you couldn't tell. I made some upgrades on my Porsche cabinet, and it's time to clean them out. Well, Dave told me the maximum that he would bid on this, so I'm just going to throw that out there now. He's at 50 max. So if someone wants this car, you have to go more than 50. You're not going to snipe him at the last second. $50 is, there it is. Okay, so Dave gets it for 35. I kind of thought so. I just wanted to make somebody aware. Because if someone bid, then I was going to raise it to his max. But no one else bid, and I didn't want someone to come in at the last second when he knew that he was up to 50 and try to bid 40 on it. So, Dave, this is yours for 35. Congratulations, buddy. You got two kick-ass cars. All right. And Ryburn, if you're still with us, this is the one that we discussed that you were asking if it was like the Martini and Rossi, and I was like, nope, it's not, but they did their damnedest to make it look like one. And if you can't tell, like I said, I am going to point out all the flaws. This one does have wear where the BF Goodrich should be down there on the bottom on both sides. Okay. Looks great at the front. Looks great up there, the sides, everything else, but there is showing the wear right there. It still has the TA radials right there in the corner, but this is starting to fade up here at the top a little bit. Basically, this is a good runner, or if you were wanting one for your collection that didn't, I mean, I've seen them where it's completely wore off and they're not there, and this back wing's been broken. So, you know, I know you can find better ones, and I know you can find worse ones, but this one isn't in bad shape. The good news is it does come on the original HP7 chassis, and it's very, very lightly used. So if you did want to use it as a runner on the original chassis, sorry, I'm trying to get the camera to focus there. See, try the mayor's trick. There we go. Yeah. Cool. All right. So it's a good looking car. I keep both of them up. Like I said, I keep up with these things on eBay, and I know that they can vary in price and condition and stuff. I literally saw one on eBay today that was in worse condition than this one, sell for like $36, $37, but it was like a ridiculous $8 or $9 shipping too. So someone paid actually 40 some odd dollars for this. I'm just starting out the simple bidding like I did on the last one at $30. So that's what the bid's going to start on this bad boy. Before we start on the bid, though, since I already have it open on the Porsche page, I'll read the description from the Bible, answer any questions, and then we'll hit the clock. They have that 88 through 90 HP7 chassis, number 6979, white, blue, red, BF Goodrich, number 67. So it was made for 3 years. So this one's literally the newest it could be is 33. The oldest it could be is 35. I couldn't tell you because there's nothing that separates those years. Any questions on this car before we get started? Okay, cool. All right. So $30 is where I'm going to start the bid on this one. And the timer started. All right, Ryburn. Ryburn's in on 30. Good looking car. I mean, like I said, it was up in my case, but I found one that was, I mean, as close to new as you could get. And it was one of those ones that was in multiple purchases. You know, it was like 4 cars in a group buy. So this one actually came from my case because I knew with the that chassis underneath it that, you know, it was used, but just very little, because it doesn't show any of the really scuffy signs of being crashed and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not got the hard scratches. It's got the wear from people picking it up on the sides. But I have gone through and cleaned it really good and make it look as good as possible. So you throw some tires on this bad boy and it'd fly around the track and look good. Ryburn's at 30 and we got 4 minutes left. See, it even has the Bosch up there by the mirror. Let me see if I can get that to, yeah, you can see that. I think the one on the TV in the background is better than the one that's right in front of the camera. Yeah, whenever I put this one up here, I had some other interest in it, and you know, like I said, that more than one person wanted it, so that's why I put it up for auction tonight. And even at $30, like I said, that's a good buy if you priced them on eBay. That's obviously cheaper than the one I saw today that sold, and this one's in better shape, and the chassis is correct, and the one that they had like a curb hugger underneath it. So it was way off base. They didn't even make one of these with a curb hugger chassis. All right, so there's 15 of us here. Is there anybody? Like I said, I don't want to bore people to death, but I do want to be fair to everybody. Is there anybody else that's interested in trying to bid on this? Because Ryburn's at 30, and I don't want to sit here and bore everybody. If nobody else wants to bid, then I'll just sell it to him for the $30. Like I said, I'm not like a drug pusher or anything like that. I'm a slot car offerer. You know, I offer my slot cars to everyone. You know, I show no preference. No questions on anything, anybody? I feel like I'm boring you guys to death. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make fillers since there's not a lot of conversation going on, but I don't, like I said, if someone has a question, I don't want to be rude and not answering it, you know. But if there are no questions, I'll just keep rambling on about stuff I know. I do love this car, and when the auction's over, I'll get out my Mega G version of one that I think that they tried to copy too, and I'm sure a lot of people will recognize it. It's my personal racer. You probably see it in the cabinet behind me, right there. So it's just unique to see how 2 different companies had their take on the same car, or slightly same car. 1 minute. Well, Ryburn, I'm just going to make the executive decision and hammer down, buddy. It's yours when it hits the 1 minute mark. And bingo. Congratulations, Ryburn. It's yours. $30. Like I said, I'm not here to push stuff on people. If there's not people bidding on it, I don't want to sit everybody, get them bored to death. But yeah, this is my personal racer right here. of the Mega G. And this is the one I thought they kind of tried to make look like a Martini and Rossi. I love this car. And it's a racer. I mean, I know that I could slap it on eBay and make $100 on it, but we have a class just for these cars. So yeah, then I'd have to replace it. Goodbye, Rybird. I think you'll like that car. And memory serves me correct, it'll probably end up running around your track. All right. And number 5 tonight is coming up. No big surprise. Guess what? Like I said, we're kind of dipping into the Porsche. This is the one that the Gale Force Raceway, or the mayor, as I know him, asked about last week. And like he mentioned, some people don't like these little letters or the numbers on the side of the cars. They just like them because they look authentic. And I get that. In this case, if you wanted to, these are some of those water slide stickers that you could literally soak this thing in some warm Dawn soapy water and literally take a soft bristle toothbrush to and literally just kind of lightly scrub them away and not do any harm to the body whatsoever. Obviously, if you did that, you'd be ruining any collector value of authenticity. That's not to say that somewhere down the road you couldn't buy another set of these little stickers to stick back on it. But, like I said, getting them to be authentic would be the thing. This one's also on a curb hugger chassis that is lighted, that does work and light up. And number 17, let me get the book out here. Like I said, it was easy once I got to the Porsches. It's a Ford ranking. There is 2 versions of the chassis. They came with a lighted curb hugger like that one, or a TYCO Pro. And there's 2 versions from 1975 and 1976. So the newest this car would be is 47. The oldest is 48. If the math's right, somewhere in there. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then, but it does have the correct chassis for the year of, what did I say, 1976. So this one would be your 47-year-old. And it is a 4, as far as the collector stuff goes. And it's all original. And this would be what they call the darker yellow version. There's a light yellow and a dark yellow. This is the dark yellow. And believe it or not, the 2 shades are really close. So it's really kind of hard to tell. I've got both versions, but you really have to get them next to each other. It's not really obvious. One's dark and one's light. It's not like some of the Aurora, like the pickup trucks, for example, where one's a mustard and one's more of a golden sunflower. But anyway. So, good looking car, came out of my collection. One of the ones that I got replaced, kind of like I did with the BF Goodrich there when I bought a collection of 4 of them. So this one can go, and it's going to start off at $35 also. Because this is a little time capsule. You can find them, but they're hard to find with still having the lettering on them, still having the correct chassis, and let alone one that works and runs and lights up. So $35, and it's 47-year-old car. Hey, there's the mayor. See, I was talking about you, buddy. Car look familiar? Yeah, see, Jeff, I told you I'm trying to be fair. I'm not out to gouge anybody. I see, $40 and $50 for this car on eBay all the time, and especially if they have the correct stuff, like this one, the correct chassis, and it's lighted and it runs. I'm not out to gouge anybody. I did $35 is what I paid for this one myself. And so that's all I'm trying to do is break even on it. And if I make more, that's great. If not, then I got what I got out of it, and then I'm just paying it forward. So that's the way I look at it. Glass isn't broken. Nothing's chipped off the wing. It's in great shape. And just so you know, it is a painted body. So, I mean, it's not like, see, it's molded in white. So it's not like these all are in great shape. You can see there's no scratches on this bad boy, so that's paint. So got the matte black hood. Good deal. Nice. Yeah, no, Jeff, you don't. Thank you. No, that's what I said. This one was literally in my case, and then I bought 4, and then so you're seeing the cleaning out. Like I said, I have more cars than room, and that's not a brag. That's just saying there's no reason for me to hog up 2 of these if I have one already, and not let somebody else enjoy it. And yes, Mayor, I'm glad you're here, because instead of doing the mystery auction that we normally do after the original 5, we're going to have a preemptive look what Scott got, and it's from Gale Force Raceway. We're going to open your box live tonight. It literally just came in Friday. So thank you, sir. Yep. Nope. I'm going to, people send me stuff. I am going to open it live so everybody gets to see it and experience it at the same time I do. So we're a little over 2 minutes left. And this, like I said, started $35 if anybody's interested. If you're not, no biggie. Like I said, we get down to the 2-minute mark. And if no one's bid on it, then we'll just put her down and go straight into the look what Scott got from Gale Force Raceway. Glad all 15 of you are here. Like I said, not here to push cars. But if you like these Porsche Carreras, this is a good one to have. I like the whale tail versions better, but this one actually handles better than those because it doesn't have as much ass end weight. Swing around. All right, so no one bid on it. Like I said, I'm not gonna bore everybody, so we're gonna go straight into the look what Scott's got Gale Force Raceway Edition. To any of you that are viewing live, and if you view later, like most people do on this video, thank you again for joining in live, and then thank you for joining in later. Check out Gale Force Raceway. He's got a lot of great content. He's actually had HO slot cars and trains come over and beat his track record. So we got to help him out and get him a car quick enough to take back his honor and get back his track record. But he's got a lot of good content. They were at the recent slot car show in Parsippany, New Jersey, if I'm correct. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's where they were. And I had asked, where did I put it? There it is. I had asked if someone was going to that, if they saw the Bob Beers book that was similar to what I used as my TYCO Bible, that showed I just lost the cover of it because I've been folding it over so much. Yeah, this one. There we go. That they would pick it up for me. Parsippany, New Jersey. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, no, man, no. I bring that up because we're going to help you make a faster car and get around your track. Because I know he likes those modified cars. I watch his channel too. I try to keep up with everybody's channel when I get the time, guys. And I know he's got a lot of Jag, and I know he's got a lot of Vipers, and but I also know that his limiting factor is he's playing with the wall wart power packs, and so you got to find the weakness and try to exploit it. So we're going to help you get a car that can take back your glory on your track. So anyway, the mayor was nice enough to purchase this book for me. Got it into the mail for me. If I can figure out how to open up this box. Okay. Got to be smarter than what you're trying to operate. See, it'd be like walking and chewing gum for me right now. I'd probably have a problem doing it. I'm excited because I've been wanting this book for a while. There we go. All right. A man after my own heart. Bubble wrap. Oh, look at that. Great packing job, Mayor. Damn. Awesome. Did you wrap this, or did you have somebody else wrap it? Because if you wrapped it, my friend, I'm impressed. I need to send you my Christmas presents and let you wrap them for everybody, because mine looks like a toddler did it. This looks like somebody with some experience did it. Yeah, as soon as this thing came in, man, I wanted to rip her open, but I was like, nope, nope, nope. I'm going to share it with all my slot car friends. See, I'm smiling. I haven't even seen a page of it yet, just because I know. All right. Finally got the layers of bubble wrap off. This is so awesome. This is going to be the Aurora Bible for me, guys. In case you haven't seen, I mean, it's got a little bit of history in it. Then you can go to the cars. They'll tell them about it. I mean, all the different variations, your T-jets. Very awesome. All the different chassis. So kind of like me and my TYCO Bible, I'm going to have to spend a lot of time going through this bad boy to try and figure everything out. Oh my gosh. You the man, Mayor. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. When you showed the video and you showed him there, I was like, oh man, I wish I would have been able to do that during your live feed and say, can you please go over there and tell him to sign it? That is so awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, what better book to have than the one that the guy wrote and the guy autographed it? That's just kick ass. Thank you. He chuckled. Yeah. Well, whenever I bought those limited edition GT40s from him, I wrote him. I said, "This may sound weird." I said, "But would you autograph those for me?" And when I dig them out of the package and show them you, I'll show you this. He autographed them. It says Mr. Aurora, Bob Beers on them. So nice touch, Mary. Yes, it was. Thank you so much, my friend. I don't know, Rick, where I don't know if you can still get this one on Amazon. I know that I've seen it at several of the slot car shows, and that's why as soon as I saw somebody go, so that's when I hit them up on it to try to get one, and then having Bob Beer's signature on it, that's just the shit. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, to a collector like me, because I know he gets a kick out of this. Because I mean, think about it, guys. He's been doing slot cars since before I was born. So you know, this is just. I mean, I'm flipping through pages and seeing cars that I already have, and I can't wait to start reading about them. I mean, like the Can-Am cars right there. I literally just showed you guys this blue one last week that I need to get stickers for. You know, I mean, it's just the ultra rare blue version right here. I mean, this is to have a little guide to go off of and be able to tell you what to look for and stuff. I remember me telling you, if you remember on one of my Look What Scott's Got, I said there's several different variations of this RC Cola, and there you go. I mean, there's the round nose and what they call the sharp nose, which is just squared off. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's just if you're into slot cars, guys, I know these books are pricey. I know it's not the cool thing to see going around the track or whatever, but I can tell you that if you're not in front of your track and you're watching TV and this is on the kit, you know, on the table next to you, and during a commercial, instead of flipping out your phone and you start flipping through this, your brain won't melt as bad because of this thing, and you'll learn a lot about something that you like to do. So I can't recommend these books enough. And once again, Mayor, thank you again. I appreciate that so much. Yes, I know that's what's going to make it hard to use, Jeff, but it's going to get used. Trust me. I mean, I've already probably ruined it anyway just by flipping it the way I flipped it and bending pages and stuff. But thank you, sir. Yeah, Mark. If I tell you what, I've got a, like I said, Sunday's my day whenever I do my searching and browsing for, Facebook Marketplace, any place where I can buy slot cars that I know of, I peruse, and I'll start keeping my eye out for more of these books and where people can buy them. And then if I do find them, then I'll stick them in a link, and I'll just make a little video where you can go and get them. Because yeah, if you're a history guy like I am, I'm not a history major or anything like that in college, but I appreciate where we come from to know where we can go. And this is one way of doing that. And that's why I really love this TYCO book so much, is because, it's the most comprehensive guide to the cars that they have out there. And this one, Mr. AFX himself wrote, so it doesn't get any better than that. And he contributed with this one, which is really cool. Oh my gosh. See? Oh yeah. I see hours when I can find them. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Hell, there's one of my childhood cars I was just showing you guys right there. Porsche 917, 1971 through 78. That's awesome. I mean, like I said, guys, growing up, there was no internet. And so unless your hobby shop or your local department store carried some of this stuff, you never even got to see it. You didn't even know it existed. And then somewhere, somehow you saw a picture of one and you're like, oh, I'd love to have that car. And you just didn't know how to get it. So being able to, like I said, buy the cars that you wanted when you were a kid and didn't have the chance to, or seeing cars that you never knew existed and having the opportunity now to purchase them, or one of these books, just finding out, some history about the cars that you own, and maybe finding out that, until I got this book, I didn't know that Marlboro Mata TYCO F1 car with the chaparral body was so rare. I had no clue, and then I got the book. I'm like, oh, holy shit, I can't believe it. So I mean, it's eye-opening and educational all at the same time. And I like I said, just having one of them that's autographed, I can't wait to rub my buddies' noses in this one. That's awesome. And in case you guys didn't notice, the watch, I'll hold it up here again, see if we can't get the glare out of the way. Yeah, there you go. See that? That's when Ford and Aurora gave away a car and a watch. That's insane. By the way, he owns both those cars, like I mentioned. That's so cool. Oh, trust me, Jeff. Yeah, no, I'll make sure that I take care and not put my thumb anywhere near where that was signed. But no, like I said, you can already see I plan on definitely. I don't think it's going to get as much abuse as what happened to my TYCO book here, but it was stapled and this one's glued. So that is awesome. So awesome. Yeah. This guy's, oh, okay. So see this, I could just flipping through and just all of a sudden opening up a page. If you remember last week's show or 2 weeks ago, I showed you guys, I got that catalog from TYCO from 75, 76. And I mentioned that I had an AFX book that helped me or corrupted me into modifying some of my cars. When I find it and dig it out, but that's the book. This is the one I have. So that was the one that corrupted me into modifying my cars and showing me the tracks and stuff like that. So T-Bird, yes, a T-Bird and a Mustang, one of each. Well, I mean, different years, but yeah, Ford gave away 2 cars. I tell people that story and their jaws drop. They're like, they gave away a car to people that play with toy cars. I'm like, you got to understand, there were, like 5,000 hobby shops in the United States that all had slot car tracks because um, baby boomers came back from the war and they started having kids, and those kids were starting to be old enough to have toys, and auto racing was taking off, drag racing and NASCAR was taking off, SCCA was taking off. So the 60s and the early 70s slot cars were huge, 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 huge. Like I said, the original hobby shop that I went to as a kid is still open in town. But his section of HO slot car stuff smaller than what you'd find at Hobby Lobby because it's mainly all RC stuff. And I get it. You gotta put product in the door that's or on display that's going to sell. I get it. But I can also remember his whole center of his hobby shop was filled up with, like I said, a 4-lane track that I used to just punish my mom with whenever because I just walk around, and because they had it all dioramaed up, and um, hills, and I mean, it was awesome. And just it took you there, and that's kind of the inspiration of my track. Is whenever you look at it, I want you to think of, oh, that was whenever I was a kid. I thought that would be the cool kind of track to have, is the scenery, the buildings, the people, the real looking grass and stuff like that. Make it look like a real racetrack. And the only difference is you got to play with this one. Yeah, 1-to-1 scale. Yep. Wow, that is awesome. Yeah, see, Gail, that's the benefit of you guys being on the East Coast is you get all these awesome slot car shows. I mean, even in Ohio, they have better stuff than what we have. I think the closest thing I have to a slot car show is like the Coin, Illinois, somewhere in there. Ah, see, there's what I'm talking about, man. That's not fair. I'd have to drive like almost 9 hours just to get to one, and you have like five within a 5 hour radius. I mean, I gladly drive 5 hours. That to me, that'd be like just outside of St. Louis, you know, hour and a half. Oh, that's even better. Oh, not 1 to 5, but an hour and a half. Yeah, shit. Hour and a half wouldn't get me even halfway to St. Louis from where I live. And that's the way I'd have to go, is from Springfield up I-44 to St. Louis, and then St. Louis up to just outside Chicago. So and I don't know if a lot of you guys have traveled a bunch, like driving, but you don't learn to appreciate your highway department until you travel in another state's interstate system, and you realize, excuse me, how little they put into their states. Road and infrastructure in Illinois is one of those states. I swear, they have some of the highest prices for gas and some of the worst roads that you're like, did they purposely build it this shitty? I mean, they're pretty bad. And there's another one that cracks me up, and that's like when I go to Oklahoma and go to Tulsa and go to the drag races and stuff. I-44, when you cross into Oklahoma, turns into a toll road, and they used to charge you when you got on and then refund you when you got off, depending on where you got off on what exit. Now they just charge you what exit you get off of. But that they call it the Will Rogers Turnpike, and it's always under construction, always. And I'm like, I paid money to drive on a road to get stuck in a traffic jam on an interstate. It just pisses me off. I'm paying extra money just to get stuck in a traffic jam. Yeah, see, Jeff, that's kind of what I figured with, the stuff coming from Jersey with TYCO, and then a lot of the original Aurora stuff, their model motoring and stuff like that coming, their OG stuff up in the New York area and stuff. I kind of figured that was the gist of it. But here in the Midwest, we're always the last to get everything. It starts at East Coast and West Coast and comes this way. It's very rare that it starts here and works its way out because just that's just the way it is. I'm jealous. Trust me. Like I said, I do know that I'm trying like hell to save my money to try to go to that Bob Beers Super Bowl slot car show that he has. That's the one I want. Yeah, see, Mark, I've heard that about Florida. It's kind of hit and miss. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly where Hardin Creek, where his hobby shop, where Terry Flynn, where his hobby shop's located. But I do know that they have club racing down there somewhere. So, but like I said, I just know that if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, definitely in your 70s, you know what slot cars are. And there's a good chance you played with them when you were a kid. And if you're in your 40s and 50s and you're looking at retirement, there's a good chance that you're going to be looking for something to do when you retire. That's like I mentioned, that's low impact, that's fun, that you can still do with your friends. I honestly think that slot cars are really going to start taking off even more than they have already, just because the age group that used to play with them are getting to the point where they'll want to play with them again. And like I mentioned, kind of like with the book History and Now Knowing Where We're Coming From, the perfect example of that to me is take around you and look at all the T-Jet clubs and all the T-Jet races. Oh, and there's that big one out in California called the Fray. Okay, so it was that generation that made those cars and that chassis popular in that racing. Hence your racing replicas, your model motoring, your Bowers and your stuff like that. Those are that generation's type of cars. So those are what they remember, and those are what the ones they want to play with. Fast forward a few years, then you move into the guys that are in their 40s, 50s, and around in that range. And then we grew up in that. I'm in that range, and we grew up with the Magna Traction and your curb huggers and your the 2 or 3 steps up from the old T-Jets or the old TYCO Pros, and then those are the chassis that we knew. And then most of us, if you got out of it, started getting out of it around the time the G Plus cars and the Super G Plus cars started coming out. And if you were in it the whole time, then you got to watch it go from the Super G Plus to the Turbo to the Super Turbo to the Mega G to the Mega G Plus, all the way up the line. Yeah, see, Mark, I'm right behind you, 56. So, yep. And so that's why I mentioned that our age group is a little bit younger, a little bit older than us. I think this is like I mentioned, someone I hadn't spoken to in over 20 years, or maybe 30 years, reached out to me. Yeah, time flies when your brain can't remember. 30 years ago, and he reached out to me when I posted a thing on Facebook about my slot car channel on YouTube. And he was telling me about how he started up a track down in his basement, and that he was racing with his grandkids on it and stuff like that. And it brought back memories for him. And I was like, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about is, those of us, if we didn't get to pass it down to our kids, like my son had no interest in it whatsoever. So, it's not, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So as much as I liked it, he just didn't have any interest in it. He was a video game kid. He'd much rather sit there and play his Xbox than actually, do something, physical, maybe move a little bit. But anyway, that to each their own. But our kids are going to start having kids, and then we can spoil the grandkids. and then that's where we're going to be able to pass down to another generation, as well as we can get into it again ourselves. And I think you're seeing that firsthand. I get a lot of people that reach out to me and say, I'm just getting back into the hobby. And that, see, it brings a smile to my face, because as soon as I mentioned it to my friends, hey man, if I build a track, will you guys, can we come over like once a week or once every couple of weeks and race, just to get together, and we don't go to we're not going to the bars, because I got one guy that doesn't like racing, I got another guy that doesn't watch sports, you know what I'm saying? But we all like slot cars. So, that was one thing that I do. We breathe. They're like, hell yeah. And then next thing I tell a guy at work and he's like, yeah, I'm in. And so, we have 4 guys racing just like that, and they're buying cars, and now they're all over me like white on rice to hurry up and get the track running, because we all miss racing again. You just, like I said, it's just remember the fun that you had, that age group. I think that the slot car is poised to explode. Yeah, right there. Yeah, see, Cliff, guys, I used whenever, what's funny is that that's a riot. So when I told my buddies that we were going to, I was going to build the track stuff, they're like, well, what kind of track are you going to get? And I'm like, well, they only make one track now, and I didn't know anything about Auto World. And I said the only one I can find is whenever I did a quick thing on slot cars, very first thing Googled up was AFX, and so I'm like, well, I guess I'm just going to buy some AFX tracks, and then I'll just put a bunch of them together and make a 4-lane track out of it, so we can all race at the same time. They're, oh, like that, that's cool. And well, I was looking on eBay, and they were like some TYCO cars and some other stuff. I'm like, oh no, we're just going to stick with AFX. That's all I had when I was younger was AFX. Little did I know I was talking out my ass, because literally half of my old school cars are TYCO and the other half are AFX. So I literally was a 50-50 guy, and I had no idea. All I remembered was my favorite car, which was my Super G Plus, and it was an AFX Aurora, which was a Ford Rally Escort. And so that's what stuck in my head is that's why we were going to race AFX, is because that was the series of cars that I had the most fun with. So it was crazy how that worked out. Yeah, I can show you. Like I said, I still have it. This at the time was the fastest car in my collection, and this is in the G Plus. This is a Super G, or the G Plus, not a Super G Plus. And there's a rare one of these that doesn't have the stickers, that it's got the thermal print on it. Obviously, I don't have that one. And if you know anything about these, this one's got the rear little bumper broke off of it. Like I said, you can tell it's even been stepped on there. But this is from my childhood. Got this one brand new in the cube. I remember seeing it under the Christmas tree. And this is one I got for the case just to kind of replace it in some little better shape. And this one was on a magnet traction chassis. There's the bumper, but even this one's still missing. There's a little globe that goes down here. Well, no, it's still there. It's just not chromed. But yeah, there's that little nub down there. But there's supposed to be a chrome piece coming off the bumper for it. Yeah. Anyway, this one obviously hadn't been stepped on. And the reason why I like my AFX cars versus the TYCO is because my local hobby shop, I could buy new parts for the AFX cars, and I couldn't buy them for the TYCOs. So whenever like the pickup shoes and stuff would get worn through and the car started running shitty, there's nothing I could do about it except park it. Oh. Oh yeah, that's why I love my yellow one there. Yeah, see, one of my neighbors got, and that's how I got here. One of my neighbors from my youth got the original track set that these came with, and he gave them to me because he hated it. And every time we tried racing on it, we hated it. So we just raced mine, and he gave me these. But all I know is whoever thought you could run these little cars and make these little wheels turn them, or throw the electricity to shoot them over one way or the other, that they thought that was a good idea. I mean, in theory, it sounds great, but in execution, it sucked. I mean, sucked, just sucked. So that's how I ended up with both these. It's not like I ever had one of those tracks. It was actually from my neighbor, and he got one for Christmas. And yeah, he got tired of it, and we never raced it again after we tried it the one day, because we went right back to the slotted cars. Just can't get them to go straight, and all they want to do is just hug that outside lane anyway. Oh wow, yeah, a non-nag McLaren XLR orange and blue. Yeah, Jeff, show me the money. That is what's so crazy. Is like I tell my mom, I was like, we're just paying for memories. Is what we're paying for. We're paying for memories. Like I said, it brings a smile to my face. Like I literally just got this one. This isn't going to be a seller. This is a Scott Keeper. Um, but I mean, it came on a TYCO Pro chassis. But I can remember seeing a version of this when I was a kid, and I wanted it because obviously it was the mid '70s. I got my first slot car track in 1974. This car came out in 1974, and they did it for the bicentennial in '76. And if you were around back then, like most all of us were, you know that everything and its brother was red, white, and blue, and everything was celebrating our 200th anniversary as a country. And I just, like I told you guys, since a kid, I've loved these winged Dodges. Not enough to own one or pay the price for one, but just love seeing them on the track. I just think they look racy, you know. And so when I got a good price on this bad boy, I jumped on it, especially because it had a good looking TYCO Pro chassis on it and looked like it barely been used. But like I said, this I bought a memory. That's what I bought right here. Is I bought something that I wanted as a kid, that I saw as a kid, I didn't have a chance to as a kid, and now that I'm a big kid and I was fortunate enough to be able to, that's when I bought it. You know what I'm saying? So now I look at this and it just reminds me of my childhood. So I purchased my memory, and now I own my memory. It's pretty cool. That's the way I look at it. Oh no, Jeff. See, yeah, we all have stories like that. I have cars that I'm doing like tonight. I've done doing these auctions. I've had cars that I have sold, and then I look back at myself and I'm just like, why? Like that. I sold that Super G Plus uh, Ken Miles #1 GT40. Should never sold that. Didn't know what I had. Sold it like an idiot. Um, a couple of my Cobra Daytona coupes, should have never sold those. It's like, I'm never going to race them. I see what these are going for. I'll sell them. Little did I know. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if Dave is still on here, but this is the car. This is the one I was telling you about, Dave. But this is the one I'm going to send you a picture of. This is the one that's in perfect condition. It came in finally. And then I can't remember who it was that bid on the last Plymouth Roadrunner, but I got another one. And I'll be putting it up for auction soon. But since I just sold one, I'll hold off on a little while. It's not as in good a shape as the one that Dave bought. You can see there's a little nick up here. I don't know if it's going to show on the camera. Probably not. It'll probably show up in my pictures though. But other than that, it's in perfect shape. But I do, like I said, I point out all the flaws. But this one will be coming up for sale soon. So I can't remember who it was, but if you're watching tonight or later, and I remember I said, don't worry, I've got my eye on one. And so, like I told Shaky Dave, that I had another one of these good ones coming. I got them both. This one's in excellent shape, man. This one only just shows the two little marks there, but these are pretty cool. So I'll get you the picture of these, Dave. If you're not on here, I'll shoot you those, like I told you, and give you first dibs on it. And then just a little preview. Yeah, that one. I got this one, so it'll be going up for sale. Yeah, see, I didn't get to race at the hobby shop, Jeff. I just had to race. Like I said, I'm born in the country. Literally, I lived on a 5-acre farm that my parents raised fox trotters, and we raised Saint Bernards and bred them for a while, and then we got rid of the Saint Bernards. They did, and then we went to German Shepherds and did those for a little while, and then they finally just stopped doing dogs altogether when the government and regulations started coming in on everything. But anyway, long story short, so my closest neighbor was, like I said, almost a half-mile away. And so it was lucky for us that there were actually 3 boys within a mile radius of each other, and we could ride our bikes to each other's houses and go do stuff. And then we got old enough, got little motorcycles, and that made it a lot quicker. But literally, when you called your buddy and said, okay, I'm coming over, I'll see you in an hour, it wasn't because of traffic or anything. It's because you were pedaling that bike and he was way on down the road. See, and that's the other thing too, Mark. We'd always seen those 4-lane tracks, and I always wanted a 4-lane track, but none of us had one. The only thing we had was a 2-lane track, and then we tried to make a 4-lane track, but unless you have the right radius corners, you can't do it. And so that failed miserably. So we never, so we'd have to take turns. It'd be winner stays, loser, work on your car. Oh yeah, the Shadow, the AMX, yeah. Oh yeah. 25 kids on the block. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about, though. See, you guys all. That's why I love chatting like this, because it's just a flashback of memories, and I know what they always say: time makes the heart grow fonder, and I understand that now that I'm older. I get it. You only remember the good, and you kind of phase out the bad whenever you're wanting to talk about and remember stuff. I remember that racing slot cars wasn't always fun, but I can always remember that any time that my buddy from a mile away came over or whatever, and we did it all day. We'd take a break, and Mom would fix us some, SpaghettiOs or something, and we'd hoof them down, and we'd go right back in there, and we were racing again, and yeah, like I said, the cars weren't always staying on the track, and one car would always be faster than another or whatever. Or one guy had complained because he always had the inside lane, the other guy could hold his wide open and just fly around. Yeah. That's awesome. See, I got one of my childhood friends from the 4th grade that he's my best friend. We still communicate, and he's one of the ones he's the one that actually helped me get the table set up, and he's the one that's been prodding me to hurry up and get the track running, because he recently bought both the new AFX Meg G Plus Mustangs, and so he wants to see them race around the track. And then my other buddy, been friends with him, Jesus, like 15, 16 years, somewhere in there. And yeah, he grew up in an area that had slot cars, more access to it than we did, and actually had a hobby shop that had a track that raced it he could go to. Hey, DTI and Mainline, thank you for stopping in tonight, buddy. Thank all 13 of you. I know at one point in time we had to have at least 23 people here, so I got the thumbs up. Oh, 24, appreciate that. Like I said, My friends don't even ask me anymore what I'm doing on Saturday night because they know I'm spending Saturday night on YouTube, and so they just check in on me on what I'm doing because, like I said, um, just sitting here getting to talk about, if one friend was here, we could sit here and talk sports all day. If another friend was here, we sit and talk cars all day. And right now I'm sitting here talking with a bunch of friends about slot cars. So, that this is just as good to me as having my friends sit on the couch. The only difference is I don't have room for 13 of you on my couch, but I can talk to you all at the same time here. Yeah, that's what I no see. That's what I keep telling everybody. I think Zim's Aquatic. I think he lives in Rogersville, which is ironically the town I graduated high school from. And I think when I get my track running, I think he said he was going to try to make it up here and race. I like I said, that's the reason why I did this track was try to get more people to do it. And the best way to do it is to get their hand on a trigger and a car on the track. Yeah, I'm gonna run that bike for track. Yeah, I was gonna be a little sneakier about that, Gail, of course, or Mark. But yeah, that would be the other thing. Like, but oh hey Mark, we could run at my track, but why don't we go ahead and run at your place tonight? You got two tracks to choose from. uh, Crack me up. Well, if I can ever save up enough money to uh, travel again, I'd love to go back down to Florida and go back to the beach. But yeah. Yeah, we do need a. I know I need a Florida road trip. I don't know that my wallet needs one, but I know I do. Uh, Mark, be careful what you ask for. I know Gale Force there. I know the mayor will do it. You'll hear a knock at the door, the doorbell ring, and there'll be a guy standing there going, "Hi, I'm the mayor." Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no. Well, one thing I've noticed about our little slot car community is we're men of our words, and that is when we say we're going to do something for somebody, we do it. And that's another thing I like about it is that we're genuine. It's none of this just fluff and saying crap just to say crap, but we do what we say we're going to do, and that's what's really cool. Exactly, Jeff. See? Yep. I'm out of town the month of March. Hey, that's okay. Just leave the key under the mat, right, Mayor? That's awesome. Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah. Kind of like my buddy's like, yeah, I'll just take this case with me and help you out since you don't have enough room. And Adam, if you're still here, yeah, he always volunteers to let me hang my cars on his wall at his house. See, and that's another thing I'm going to point out, guys. And if you've not heard me preach about it before, is unless it was for YouTube, we love this hobby, but we would have never met each other. And that's the beauty of the technology today is the fact that I can meet people that are just enthusiastic about this hobby that are maybe just a town away, or in this case, half a country away, or in some cases, half a world away. And it's insane. And it's all because of this hobby and what we love to do. And that's when I talk to people about it, I get excited and I try to tell them, I'm like, this is global. You just don't understand because here in the United States, you're kind of thrown into a niche and you kind of just stay there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just don't like to get out there and explore, and or they just never had it made accessible to them. So when I show it to them and explain it to them, or the first time they get a controller in their hand, they're hooked. They're like, "Oh, this is fun!" First words out of their mouth. "Oh, this is fun. Those things are fast," or "that looks fun. Those are fast." It's always fun and fast. Fun though. There's the first one of the first words, one of the first two, fun or fast, always. And like I said, it's just a matter of educating people and getting them out there. And like I said, that's, you know, if I can get people to come over to my little humble abode and get them hooked on it, or like my plan was, is to when I get my race car running, go to the drag strip, have a separate 10 by 20 pop up with a couple of banquet tables linked together, and put up a drag strip and charge people $5 for 5 runs up and down the drag strip, and try to get people hooked at the drag strip with the kids. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, exactly. See, I told my friends I was buying a timing system, my Viasu. I told them when I was buying that, and they're like, timing system? You know, not the lap counter? I'm like, no, no, no. We're in the 21st century. This stuff's high tech now. Yeah. And then when I got my second tower, to be able to show the split times and stuff like that, and explain to them the benefits, so you knew, you could, when you were comparing your lap times, you could compare if you were actually faster or slower on the front half or the back half, and what changes you made helped or hurt which half of the track, depending, you know, what how fast or slow you went on it, and helps your driving. You know, like I said, it's amazing what you can do with these things. And pit stops now, you know, you can add towers for pit stops. Yeah. One of these days in the near future, I'm hoping that they figure out how to get the lag out of the wireless controllers, because I really think that would be the future to really get a lot more people involved. Was like Aurora has this bad habit of, even on their brand new sets, putting in a controller cord that's about that long, you know. And so if you're holding on to your controller and you're reaching to go put on a car that came off the track, 9 times out of 10 you're going to try to stretch, and then you end up yanking the track and the controller and everything else. See, I was going to ask you about that, Mark. Which one do you prefer better? See, I personally, whenever I was looking to buy them, I compared the installation and the ease of use. And honestly, the you know, the running on DOS, my limited computer knowledge, but the running on DOS, so you're basically just telling it what to do. So that's basically the same thing. So then it came down to the ease of plug and play, and then that's where Viasu wins hands down. I mean, it's just literally just plug and play. I love it. That's why I have nothing but good things to say about Viasu, and the fact that they worked with me to give me a custom timing system with call buttons like I wanted for my track. And you know, they didn't rake me over the coals to modify. I had to send them my system, and they modified everything. But you know, like I said, and they did extra stuff for me and didn't charge me nothing. You know what I'm saying? That I don't expect stuff like that. Their customer service and their help would have been enough, but then doing the little extras that they did just put it over the top for me. Yeah, see, Jeff, there's times when we're doing warm ups, and that sometimes the warm up fun is more fun than the actual racing, because we'll have 3 or 4 cars really close to each other, and nothing is more kick ass than seeing 3 or 4 of those cars side by side of whatever version, IndyCar, NASCAR, or whatever. And then being that close, you know, one take a lead, another one take a lead. You know, it's just like a commercial. But you do it for, I mean, 5 or 6 laps like that, and it's badass. No one flies off. Yep. And that's not even a race. It's just warm up. Oh, was it really? Okay. See, I didn't know that. I didn't. All I saw was them making me have to drill into my track and put in their light sensors and stuff. And I knew that I could pay Viasu some extra money, and the track already came that way. And so that's what sold me on that. Ah, well, see, there you go. You're an IT guy, Gail. Okay, yeah. Hey, Southern Stock Car Racing, thanks for stopping in. No, yeah. Tell them that you were on a live feed with a bunch of people that have a Biasu system, and we all recommend it. And tell them to keep up the good work. I mean, I'm telling you, customer support, without a doubt, is awesome. I don't know if any of you guys have had to have, whenever they modified my system and I put it back on the track, it wasn't recognizing the second tower as a split lane. It was only recognizing it as a pit lane. And so one guy does all the software writing, another person does all the the hardware stuff. They both got me on a conference call and walked me through step by step until we figured out how to get that thing set back up correctly so that it would time it the way I wanted it to time it. Like I said, no extra cost, no nothing. We were on the phone for 45 minutes, and half of it was just talking about my track and the call buttons and stuff like that. But the other part of it was actually, trying to fix the problem. Awesome, awesome, awesome customer service. I mean, we set up a time, we had a conference call. My track was up and running by the time we got off the phone. Yeah, pre-wired. That's I'm all about that easy button. I wish life had an easy button. Yeah, that Ryber, that's exactly it. Yeah, we're all warming up, so we're not really pushing the cars, and then it's kind of fun, y'all racing together, and then so that's why everybody stays on the track. But as soon as what I call the nut cutting starts, whenever it starts getting serious, then that's when all of a sudden it's like, dodge a car here, thud, something hit me in the chest. Oh, okay. See, Mark, I didn't know that either. See, I'm learning a lot by I'm living vicariously through you because I'd looked at one of those Viper tracks and when I was talking to Terry Flynn of Hardin Creek on the phone, and I was telling him I'd like to have one of his tracks, and he goes, if you think about it, they're fairly inexpensive if you start thinking about how much money it's going to cost for you to buy the track sets and the extra pieces you're going to need for an AFX or an Auto World track. As long as you don't go overboard, you can get a fairly reasonable, 4x12 or 4x16 track for, close to about the same cost as you would have invested in buying all the separate pieces for an AFX track or an Auto World track. So when he put it to me like that, it kind of made sense. But coming up with all that money at one time versus, buying a track set this month and one next month. And that's how I built all mine, was track sets. So, yeah. We all drive like we're Mario Andretti when no one's watching. That's just the way it is. I literally, so with the Bisu system, those of you that know, you can take, it shows you your split times and stuff on the screen and stuff like that. So I used to just tell my buddies, oh man, I got my car to run this fast on the front half and this back, and this is what the total was. And they're like, oh yeah, right, whatever. Let's see you do it again. When they were there, I could never get the car to do it. So finally I started, anytime I'd run a kick-ass lap like that or two or whatever, then I'd take a picture of the screen with my phone just so I could show them, see, I told you I could do it. Because anytime they showed up, I couldn't go that fast. It was crazy. Yeah, see, Gail. Oh no, if I added up all the track sets and the money that I spent, obviously I got the cars with the track sets, so there's the benefit. But if I just added up the money in the track sets, like I said, I started with a Super International, and then I will show the video of all the track sets that I have. I'll break them down because I got too many to do in one video. Believe it or not, it's insane. But I'll show the ones that I used specifically to build my racetrack, and if you add them all up, it comes to over $1,000 easy. Um, Obviously, if you buy a Viper track, you're not getting the cars. You know, Vice versa. Yeah, it's got memory. It'll keep your fastest lap times. Yeah, yeah. If you remember, I said that I wanted to do a 4-lane TYCO track. Well, I've got so much. I got so many tracks, guys. Yeah, I could build a. I bet I could build at least 4 more versions of my track right now. Yeah, it'll keep fastest laps. That's how you know whether or not someone beat the lap record. You should be able to save it in your memory. I know it did with mine. It'd have a track record because whenever I set mine up, it asked me for how many track pieces I had and all that stuff in the background. Whenever I set it all, it's been years since I did it, but yeah, I specifically remember being able to do the track records. Yeah, there it is. You have to save the results. There it is. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So just like Mark was saying, Mayor. DTI mainline. What you need to do is get some of those Aurora clips. Let me see if I can find some real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. They're the track clips. You need to buy the track clips, and that'll help keep your track pieces together. Yeah. Some of the bank corners, and these are what I'm talking about. These little track clips like this right here. There it is. And that's where they go, like right there, and and so when your cars are flying around the track, it'll keep them jointed. Yeah. 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 It's funny how no one wants to believe you could do anything unless they see it. Funny how that works, isn't it? I didn't see it. I don't believe you. Well, now we have video. Sorry, I picked this thing up and it started coming apart on me. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know if you knew that or not, man. That's why I was just sharing. That's why I had to do it. These. You see these little clips like this? This is what I use to hold my bank corners and together, so that because they don't match up perfectly. So that's what I use those clips, hold them together, and then once I've got them clipped together like that, then that's when I put the sound deadening on there, and that way it sticks them, holds them together like that. So that's how it started. That's how it ends up. Al Bundy, all right. In a single game. I love it, Bear. I didn't know. Yeah, I tell my buddies I'm going to go take a Bundy, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. You say that to the wrong generation, they're going to go, "You're going to go do what?" This that's sound deadening material, Mayor. Like what you put in for your car stereos and stuff. So when you peel it off, it's got that tar stuff on it, and so it'll help. I don't know how well that compared to here. We'll just do a little comparison. So see, a lot quieter. Yeah, and if you were able to catch my little post about the show tonight, you saw two different colors of track on the inside lane. That was a TYCO 9-inch. On the outside, that was a AFX 12-inch, and that was to show you, if you are taking a look real close, you can see how narrow the guide lanes are on an AFX and how they're spread out on a TYCO track. And there's the perfect visual. So sometime if you've ever wondered what the difference is on those two tracks, well, there it is. Now here's the catching what I would consider the positive and the negative on both. Okay, so the positive of the AFX having them closer together is your car has a little more swing out space if when you're going around a corner. So you've got a little more track on this side. The negative part of it is since the rails slots are closer together, wider cars have a tendency to hit each other or be really close to rubbing each other side by side. On a TYCO track, they're spread farther apart, but since you're spread farther apart, you're sacrificing some of this lip. So any little swinging out that your car does on the outside of the corner is going to be more apt to fall completely off the track. Like on my track, I don't run guardrails at all. We catch fences, but not guardrails, so no one can ride the rim wide open. So if you're running a TYCO track, and you're going to have less opportunity to kick the ass end out before it's going to try to hang the edge and fly off the track. So there's pluses and minuses to both. You know, the plus on the TYCO is it's spread out, so your bigger cars don't come close to touching in the middle. The negative is since you're spread apart, you have less room for sliding out or kicking the ass end out and have a greater chance of deslotting. So pluses on minuses on both on my opinions on that. What do you guys think? Yeah, heat and sound. There you go. That's what you need to do. So there was a method to my madness. Is the reason why I posted that picture, because TYCO, I wasn't able to find any 12-inch banks, and I knew I wanted to make a 4-lane TYCO track, like I said, like out in the garage or something like that, that I could, you know, just put up on a table, you know, for a spoof, and then you know, be able to tear it down and fold up the tables and put away, nothing permanent. But I wanted a 4-lane track, and I wanted banks because I got a lot of my TYCO tracks have bank corners. So I wanted to see if they lined up with the AFX, because you can make the AFX to TYCO. You can buy those little 3-inch adapter tracks, and sure as shit they did. They married right up just as good or better than the AFX track did. So the TYCO track, whenever it gets built, you know, for temporary fun out there, we'll have a little AFX on it just for that very reason. Yeah, see, that was one of the reasons, Mark. I was looking at your track and learning from your experiences on what you went through. See, like, I'll be straight up and honest with you. That pin depth on the slot is a huge turnoff to me. Huge. But the main thing that I don't like about that's keeping me from switching, and that is I love my bank corners. I love them. I mean, it's just the one time that if you're in these 2 lanes, that you know, you can just at the end of a long straightaway, unless your car is just too fast for what the track size. But anyway, it's been my experience that you can hold wide open through these corners, and that's very rarely that you get to do that. And I love my flat corners because they take some, you know, more skill. But I love my banks. I love banks, and so that's the one thing that's kept me from those tracks. But I have so many Mega G and Mega G Plus cars. It would piss me off to have to go and cut every single guide pin off. Oh yeah, see, no, there's people that are and the people that aren't. That's why I mix it up on my track. Once I get it together, and you'll see, I try to do equal amount of inside, outside, and banked and flat. And so theoretically, what I was trying to do is if someone was on the outside on one bank, then they were on the inside of another bank. And then the same way with the flat turns. If they were on the outside on a flat turn on one, then they were on the inside on the other. So that way it gave everybody, you know, depending on where you were at the track, you know, no one advantage, you know, for any lane on the inside or the outside. Because I have a little 3-inch and a 6-inch curve on my track, and I call it dead man's curve, because if you're in the yellow lane, which is the inside lane on my track, you have to what feels like crawl through that corner because it's so sharp, and so it gets everybody. Oh yeah, nice. So yeah, oh yeah. See, like I said, some people like banks, some people don't. My buddy that one of the ones that races over here, when he's building his track, he said he wasn't going to have any banks, because he wants to be able to keep it all flat, make it easier to build and be able to see no matter where you're sitting at or at the track. Because we always, I see some people like to stand up when they race. We're lazy. We like to sit down. So we all have a chair. We just sit around and we don't even rotate spots half the time. We just grab a spot and camp out, put our drink in our cars around us, and go to town. I got you. I knew what you meant. You're good. Yeah, I didn't see Mike show up tonight. No, and like I said, guys, that's what I love about our hobby is you don't have to. I don't have to build my track the way you guys want to build your track. It's all in our what we like, and you're making your own universe. You know what I'm saying? You're in control. You're God. It's you. You pick what you like. You pick what you want to do, and I guarantee you, no matter what you do, someone's going to like it. Plain and simple, because it's different. It's unique. It's yours. It's not the same old cookie cutter stamp. Yeah, see, Mark, I got one guy that comes over and that's all. He can't sit. It drives him crazy if he can't see the whole track, and he's always stretching and doing this. So he stands up. So it's just all on preference. Like I said, that's the beauty of our hobby is you don't have to do anything any one certain way, and everybody still appreciates the way you do it because it's just not the way that everybody else does it. Yeah. I see people pace. I see two people two-hand control. It's whatever works for you. That's what my theory is. Whatever works. And that's what I love about it too. Is if we all did the same thing, I don't think it'd be nearly as much fun. Yeah. See, yeah, yeah. See, since we're close to the same age, you're getting probably where I am, where I can stand for a good 15 minutes somewhere in there. But you start hitting the 20-minute mark, my back and my shoulders start bothering me. And I'm like, you know what? I think I need to sit down. I need to take a break. Yeah, I purposely built my table with my table legs at the height so that we could use computer desk chairs like what I'm in now. And I've got another one, and then a buddy of mine's going to bring one over. So, we're on rollers, and I've got a hardwood floor. So now we either can literally, when we want to rotate spots, all we got to do is just literally roll. We don't even have to stand up if we don't want to. Oh yeah. No, see, I thought about at my other place because it didn't have room, but for maybe two of the chairs right in the middle and definitely nothing on the ends. I thought about getting some of those bar stools for the ends. You know what I'm saying? To be able to sit on. Um, I know, like the ones I were looking at Ford Motorsport. They had some that were Mustang and some that were Ford Performance, but I also know that Chevrolet does them and GM does them. Oh yeah, no, no, man, dude, no, I'm easy button, easy button. Yeah, no, 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 no. We do get up and stand. It's just now we won't have to if we don't want to. And honestly, once you get comfy in your chair, bathroom break will be about it, or go get another drink. Oh yeah, no, we're lazy. Hell, I sit all day in this damn chair working on this damn computer all day, and then still, even when I come in here and whenever I would race at the other place, I would still sit right here in the chair and race, and then I'd pull my car off the track and roll it over to the desk and work on it. Yeah, yes. Oh, I know I'm showing my age bad because at one point in time today, I had this wild hair. Like I thought I was going to go outside, and because I was so mad about not finding my dyno and my gauze meter. In case you guys are wondering, the dyno I'm talking about is the little dynometer that Dan has with the SBR Racing. And then a gauze meter is basically, it just reads the strength of magnets. And so that was one of the things I was going to show is some of your factory magnets have a stronger downforce on the Mega G pluses when you buy them on one side versus the other. And so I was going to show that, you know, you measure the magnetic force on one side versus the other. And so you could do what they call like a high downforce or a low downforce magnet, depending on which way you had it flipped. Yeah, DTI Marine. Yeah. So yeah, see, those are the ones I was looking for today. So anyway, I was so mad trying to look for those things. I thought, well, I'll just forget about doing the slot car stuff until tonight, and I'll just wash the Tahoe. Yeah, and then that's when I stepped out of the garage whenever I was looking for the stuff and walked actually outside, and it was like a 93 with the heat index or 94, and I was like, nope, not doing that. And that's when I came back in and started unpacking some more. All right, see, Robert? Yeah, no, I see the videos of people doing that. And what's funny is that whenever my buddies would come over and I'm not racing, you know, if they're already, you know, we're taking turns or whatever because there's more people here than the four of us. Seeing people, you know, the way you don't realize what you're doing while you're doing it, but you know they're following their car and you don't even realize you're doing it, and your eyes are just like. What we got here? Magnets are Neo Pro 35 millimeter stock motor. Yeah, I'm with him right. Everybody, you're going way too fast. Too much magnet for that armature. Yeah, Mark nailed it right there. No, you're overspending for what that armature is going to be able to take advantage of. So unless you're going to buy the armature that's going to be able to handle the extra magnetic spinning forces of those motor magnets, then you're just more or less, pardon the French, pissing in the wind. You know, yeah, you're getting something done, but it's not what you accomplished. You know, it's coming back and hitting you. So yeah, as I say, yeah, I would see Terry Flynn at Hardin Creek is who I'd recommend on that. He knows. In fact, if you he's got a 5-part TYCO hop up series that I kind of base my TYCO hop ups on, and what he does is what he tells you about how he maxes them out, and then he also points out the fact that you know, cost per chassis. If you're going to look at it as a financial investment on what you're getting for what you're investing and the speed of the car that you're going to get as a result, I know that's a lot, but once you put all your money into a TYCO, what he's getting at is you're going to have more money into a TYCO 440X2 chassis than you're going to have in a Viper chassis, and probably still not be able to run as quick as a Viper, but just maybe a little bit less. And then the good thing about the Viper is you can still hop it up. So, you know, where you're maxing out a TYCO because of the chassis itself limitations, like I discussed with the firmness of the chassis, because they like to flex because of their design. Like I said, the too heavy of a strong of a magnet will actually start trying to warp that chassis and pull everything counterwampus, and so it won't handle as good. Yeah, there you go, Mark. Yeah, see, see, Gail, by the time you spend the money on motor magnets, armature, traction magnets, rear end, and a razor front end on a TYCO, you add all of those things up, and then you put shoes and springs and get some of those Wizard double springs for your TYCO, you're right around $40 to $45. And if memory serves me correct, you can buy a Viper for right around that. Or I know you can buy a Wizard Storm for 35 bucks. Yeah, see, there's the other thing too. Yeah. There you go. Mark beat me to the punch. That's exactly what I'd recommend if I was buying a stock chassis, or look at the Hardin Creek, his Super 7 chassis, if you're looking for something a little less expensive, because he's got two versions of that chassis too. He also does, like with these, he does um, it's the Viper chassis, but it doesn't have the razor front ends on them. So I mean, yeah, yeah, there it is. Mark's got all the answers for us. Oh yeah, no, that's why we're recommending these Vipers, because they'll still that level of Viper, because they'll still work with the wall warts and stuff. And if you've got another power supply, then you're golden. Yeah, so I mean, I love my Tycos, but it's getting to the point now where, if I'm looking for simplicity's sake, if I just want to buy a fast car, the cheapest fast car that I know that you can buy in bulk is those Wizard Storms, because I think you can, if you get them from the right place, you can get them for like 35 or 40 bucks a pop, and they're based on the AFX Super G Plus chassis, so the parts are pretty easy to get, and they fly. And they come with a little hard body. I mean, I know they look funky, but for 35 or 40 bucks, you can't beat it. Not a wall supply. Oh, see, perfect. Yeah. Then there you go. Yeah. You're good to go, Mayor. If you're wanting to get exotic, you can even get on Scale Auto's page and order get a BSRT chassis. Yeah. See, Mark. No, it's not gonna show up, but yeah, I've got one over there in my cabinet over there. I just bought the one because I didn't know what it was going to be like, and I, I I highly recommend them to everybody. I mean, they're fast right out of the box. I mean, just literally. I mean, I oiled mine up and put it on the track, and it flew. No, man, you didn't. People tell me about stuff all the time. Adams all the time asks me if I saw stuff on PTT's page, and I'm like, nope, haven't been on there this week. Damn it. But he tells me about something new, or like that. It's just, you're like me. I try to keep up as much as I can, but there are so many different websites and so many people's different YouTube channels and so many things that right now I'm in the mode of trying to unpack. I am so dying to race on my track. Anticipation is right there next to driving my real race car, and I'm not even going to have the motor for it until sometime in August. But they're right there. Slot car track, real race car. I mean, and I can't do either one of them right now, but this one can definitely be done quicker than my race car, and that's why I'm trying to get it where I can get some damn cars racing on my track. They got for Triple Street. Oh, nice. Yeah. I have my Mustangs here, my red, white, blue, yellow, and then my two spares right there. They have never seen the track since the day I bought them. Well, they've seen the track, they've seen it, but they haven't raced on it. I can try to do that, Adam. I was thinking about doing that whenever I was going to try to do the bills, but I'll have to try to play around with the camera angle and stuff like that. Because yeah, no, that's the easiest way to learn is to watch somebody else do it. You know what I'm saying? And that way you can pause it and rewind it and go back and forth, and I'm down with trying to do that. If I can get the camera positioned right, or I may have to use my phone and stick it on a little tripod and just lead me out of the picture and do it right there in front of me on the desk here. Oh yeah. See, I don't know if you guys have seen the new Auto World releases coming out, but I thought was really cool is they're doing one of their pit kits with their Super 3 chassis, because I was kind of buy one of those to see if I could assemble it better than they build them themselves. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, you thought of something real quick. Is don't give somebody a car that's above their experience level, because they will destroy it by crashing it. So you give them the beater that you don't care about crashing and let them crash away. The last thing you do is give them your $100 car and watch steam come out your ears every time they crash it off the track. Yeah, I like those new Datsuns too, Adam. I talked about those earlier about how I was going to try to get some of those. And Mark, or Gale Force, I don't know which one you're looking at, 75, but they sell the one for like $50. Is the one that I would be looking at. Because there's some of those cars that you're not going to want to buy unless you have like Mark's Viper track. They'll even straight up tell you. I didn't know this until I spoke to Terry Flynn, but even they make some of those high downforce cars so powerful that they'll pull the rails up out of factory plastic tracks. Had no clue about that. Are you on the Viper page, or are you on the V1? Are you on the Hardin Creek Gale Force? Viper page. Okay. Haven't been on the Viper page lately. I know someone that has. Hey Dix, thank you for stopping in, man. Dick's Slot Car Garage. Back up to 14. At one point in time, we had 28. Thank you again to everybody that's still here. Like I said, I'm loving chatting. We're trying to help the mayor spend some money on some Vipers. That's what he called these. He called these his sportsmen. Terry at Hardin Creek called his Vipers his B1s. He called these his sportsman series because they have the Delrin big front rims on them and not the little skinny razor front ends. But I bought these from Hardin Creek. And that's the only difference between them and and he said the razor front end he thought would drop it too low on a plastic track, and the chassis would try to scrub. So I didn't do that. But in case you're wondering, this is one of those Vipers with Terry's lowering clip on it. See if the mayor's trick works here. No, okay. Well, anyway. Oh, thanks, DT. Cool. See, that's what I'm talking about, guys. We just helped out another fellow creator, and I love it. I mean, we're helping out another creator. Someone giving good advice on which car to try to buy. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why I started this channel, is so that people with the common interest had some place to go and learn and share and enjoy the same interest with other people. And that's, I mean, honestly, guys, this is warms my heart to know that my little vision for what my channel, what I wanted it to be, is actually working. And that is bringing people together, helping each other out, and sharing knowledge. And we all learn that way. And everybody that makes videos adds their piece of that puzzle. And so we're all in it together. So thank you. You know, nothing makes me happier than when someone messages me and go, uh, I'm, I've started my channel, or I thought about starting my channel after I saw yours. And I'm like, the more the merrier. I hope to inspire people to do it and share their stuff. And that's why I put the video out there this week with Shaky Dave, when he sent me the pictures of, excuse me, the assembly of his track, and then a short video of a car running on it. That was awesome. That video has gotten 2-to-1 views. In other words, 2 views for every 1 view of my preview video for tonight's show. And that just shows me that people want to see other people's ideas and see, maybe give them an idea, or see something that inspires them to do something like that. Dave made that track, in case you missed the show earlier. That's on a 30 by 80 door, I believe is what he said. And then obviously it hangs over a little bit, but still you're looking at a small amount of space with a whole lot of track. And it's 4-lane, it's banked, it's got, you know, some technical corners in it. Yeah, you know, you're going to run a, you know, 2-second lap time on it, but I guarantee you're still going to have fun. And that's the main thing, is you don't have to have a big room or a garage. You can just have a room for a door. You have room for a track. Oh yeah, see, that's, like I said, guys, that's, you know, hearing about other people getting, you know, maybe the chance to go race on someone else's track. That's cool too. So once again, if any of you guys are watching and you don't have your own channel, and you do want other people to see your racetrack or your car collection or something like that, send me an email, send me those pictures, send me that video. I can't promise you, you know, Hollywood production work, but I can at least do what I did for Dave, and at least get it out there and let other people see it. And then you can tell everybody, you know, yeah, my racetrack's global. You know, everybody in the world can see my racetrack. You know, pound your chest a little bit. Cool, thank you. No, like I said, you see how many, I think we're pushing, I think I'm pushing almost 300 views on that video in less than a day. And um, I think I barely broke 100 on my preview video for tonight's show. So that just tells me, like I said, I'm not the brightest bulb, but it tells me that other people like seeing what other people do with their tracks, their ideas, and inspiration. You know what I'm saying? How I built my table was off of Greg. Before he passed, he had a website. It was called HO Slot Cars. And he had a whole description on how he built his tables that he would actually build and sell to people. And that's how I built my table, was learning from him and talking to him. And that's how he got me started on collecting the, you know, the GT40s on the Mega Gs when they first came out. I would have never done that. You know, he's like, oh, if you're going to start buying cars, he goes, you're going to want to buy these. I mean, it was his recommendation that got me started on the GT40s. And we all know what those GT40s are worth now. I mean, that was just dumb luck on my part, bouncing into the right person that was willing to take the time and help me and point me in the right direction on stuff. And, you know, that's when I was like, you know, that's, how can I pay it forward? Because that guy already knows everything that he needs to know, you know. So maybe there's other people out there like me. So that's when I got on YouTube, and that's when I found Troy with Slot Car Crazy. I found Vito Man 50. I found AFX World. You know, I found a lot of guys that HO Joe. They just don't do videos anymore, other than Troy with Slot Car Crazy. So I was like, you know what? We need a channel that has for beginners to people that are trying to race professionally and everything in between, where they can just come in and share, and we can bounce off ideas off each other, talk about cars, you know, stuff like that. And here we are. Oh yeah, see the Daytona High Bank. That's awesome. See, that's what I'm talking about, guys. We all decided that we saw something that inspired us, and then we took somebody's idea and we either made it our own, or we took exactly what they did and tried to replicate it, and then we made it our own. But irregardless, it took somebody else sharing that information to get us started. And so that's what I was hoping to do with my channel is if somebody stumbled upon it, to inspire them, if they weren't in the slot car community, or if they were in the past and they were thinking about getting back into it. I can't count how many people that I've sold cars to or have stumbled across my YouTube channel, and they've thanked me for helping them get back into the hobby. They didn't realize how much fun they had been missing out on. Life. It happens to all of us, and then out of nowhere, something happens, and like, oh yeah, I can remember doing that. First word comes to your mind. That was fun. And who doesn't like having fun? Have you ever had anybody say, I'm having too much fun? And if you hear them say that, you need to smack them, because we could all use too much fun. Yeah, Troy. Troy is um, yeah, he had a video come out there. I didn't have a chance to watch it, on how to pick a used track set or something like that out. No, I've noticed his content is either showing the races that they're doing, which is cool, but he used to have a lot of tech stuff, and he's kind of veered away from that. And so, like when Adam was asking if I was going to do a build live, I'm more than willing to try it. I just got to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing, with the camera over my shoulder or whatever, and I can still do it without looking like a complete moron, like we were talking about earlier. We can all run fast laps by ourselves, but as soon as we have someone watching us, then we always just fly off the track. So, this guy's saying he can build a slot car, and I'm bouncing springs everywhere or something. Yeah, a little hyper coupon. Cool. See, I'm glad. I'm glad that we can. Everybody's helping him out, man. And if you haven't, Mark, everybody needs to check out Mark's channel if you haven't. Yeah, no, see, I'm right there with you, buddy. No, his I don't know what happened, but something's changed. Is I don't know, I like I said, I don't know. Just something changed on his channel, where even when he pops out a new video now, is I used to be like, oh, new video, and now I'm like, I'll catch it later. When you guys pop out a video, I'm like, oh hell yeah, because it's always new and it's something exciting, or it's just, yeah, I don't know. He's just lost his magic somewhere along the way. I don't know if he's burned out or personal life or whatever. It happens to all of us, you know what I'm saying? But something changed. I noticed that too. No, well, just buy a damn battery, Troy. I mean, come on, quit blaming. And he'll sit there and fiddle with the damn thing, and on the stock car showcase or whatever, bi-weekly feature car. Yeah, I'm like, damn, Troy, come on, man. Just buy a damn battery. Uh, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Mark beat me to it, Mayor. Yeah, you're gonna. I mean, he has HO slot cars and trains. He has some Vipers too, but here's the benefit: is your track, and you can practice on it all the time. And so, like I told you, the first time that I had buddies over and we raced on my track, I didn't even win the first race. Yeah, well, it turned into Scott won more than he lost once I got to practice on my track because they were just seeing it once or twice a week, and I was seeing it every day because I had made a promise to myself that I was not going to get humiliated like that again because I built the damn track. I should be the one that runs at least close to the fastest on it. So yeah. Oh yeah, no, Terry's the bomb. A lot of people think Terry comes off as cocky or whatever. I don't. He's just confident. He just knows what he's talking about, and that can be easily mistaken for cocky. I get it, or arrogance. But he's not saying it to be that way. He's saying it just because he knows. Been there, done that, read the book. Signed the autograph. He done it all. And he puts his money where his mouth is. You know what I'm saying? It takes some big bucks to come up with your own chassis and stuff like that. And he was in. Him and Dan actually designed the Viper chassis. A lot of people, like I said, may have heard me say that before, but if you haven't, then that may be news to you. But Dan was actually partnered with Terry, and they made the Viper chassis together, and that's why he came out with his version of it versus the one that Viper Scale Racing sells. Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out tonight. I haven't even had dinner. That's what I do after our Slot Car Saturday Night Live is I have dinner and try to catch up on all the racing that I missed out on today. Like I got to catch a little bit of the F1 qualifying in Spain before I went and got the old ears lowered today. We're the only two guys buy cars. Yeah, you only two. You only one is investing. Yeah. See, whenever people come over, after I've told that one story about my buddy destroying one of my Mega G Plus cars that I put all that money into, and just crash, 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 crash. Now I've got what I call rookie runners, and I don't give a shit how many times they crash them. I don't care how many times a piece of body flies. I don't care. But I'll be damned if I'm going to give them one of my $120, parts cars that I've spent all the time and money on to go out there and just smash on the wall or fly off the track or whatever until they can learn how to control themselves. Yeah, no. So I'm no professional racer, but I'm like you, Mayor. You're not touching my high dollar cars no more. Oh yeah, they do mainline. They're still making them for Red Bull until Ford takes over. I think in 2025, and then it's going to be Red Bull, Ford, racing engines or something like that. But yeah, Ford and Red Bull are joining forces to make the engines because Honda's helping Red Bull right now, but not going to continue after 2025, is my understanding. Exactly. See, and the guys that come over and race all the time, I don't care about letting them race my car because they have the same amount of money in their car as I have in mine. So they know how to race A, and then B, they know that they don't want to smash it on the wall or have it fly off the track. So they take a little more care with it. A rookie has no clue, and that's nothing against them. They just get on there and they just, well, if it went this fast, surely it can go faster. We all do that, but just not, so you just got to learn. Right now, Dix, I don't have my page up and running yet because I've been in the middle of moving. But Pro Tinker Toys fan page is the one that most everybody that is on this live feed tonight goes to for right now. And then I'm not sure Dan with Slot Valley Racing. Yeah, see, Mark, and there's the benefit of the Viper, and that's why I kind of like those Wizards. I like them if they're based on another chassis that I'm going to be able to buy parts for readily and nothing one off. You know what I'm saying? Yep. There you go, Jeff. I'm right there with you. The Super G Plus chassis, because it's so versatile and it's been around so long that people have learned to fix its weaknesses, and it's just anybody that makes a chassis tries to base it off of that. If you've noticed, if they make their own chassis, they base it off the Super G Plus, and there's a reason. It works. I've seen the Porsche. There we go. Oh no, that the car that Adam gave me is and it's staying in its plastic coffin and going on the wall. Go to the change your handle to match your channel name. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks for the tip. Go to brand in your settings and change the handle to match your channel name. Oh, never knew that. Thank you for sharing that, Mayor. Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that either. See? Mm. Wow. I can't believe we actually had 29 people, at least at one point in time, because that's why I got the thumbs up. So that's pretty cool. I don't even know what time it is. I know my dogs are pacing around me. Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, guys, I was gonna say 11. Yeah, you must be on East Coast time. Yeah, Florida. That's right. Sorry. Yeah, it's about 10 o'clock here, and I haven't had dinner, so I don't want to be rude and run everybody off, but I do need to eat some dinner. I do appreciate everybody coming in and talking tonight. I thank for everybody for showing up that had never been here before. Thank you for helping support the other creators' channels that have shown up tonight, and thank you guys for stopping by tonight. Um, if you are watching this video, I know this sounds crazy to you guys that have hear me say this all the time, but literally 2/3 of the people that view my videos are not subscribers. If I could just get a third of those 2/3 of people that don't watch to subscribe, it would help out the channel immensely. So if you've not subscribed to my channel or any other of the creators that are on this live feed tonight, look at them: Gale Force Raceway, Mark's Slot Car Garage, where is it? Dick's Slot Car, Southern Slot Car Racing. Um, anybody that's taking the time to make these videos to help promote the hobby, we just need to support everybody. And the next time I put out a video, just like I used to do in my description, I'm going to put a list of every single HO slot car channel that I know of on YouTube in it. And I'll suggest to, once again, everybody go check those out and like and subscribe and try to get them out there. And thank you, Mayor, for the tip on how to adjust my settings on there, because I had no clue on how to do that. So if you've made it to this far in the video, hopefully you've kept up with the chat and you guys have learned just as much as I have tonight. And once again, before I get out of here, there's a couple things I want to do. And I want to say, thank you to everybody that participated in the auction tonight and everybody that did purchase cars. I'll get your invoices out to you tomorrow, and no hurry on the payment. They're yours. Whenever you pay me is when I'll ship them out. So no hurry. And the next thing I'd like to do is thank the mayor. Sir, thank you again for taking the time while you were at the show to get me this book, and then to have Mr. Beers autograph it for me was above and beyond. So thank you, sir. I'm truly indebted. I appreciate that very much. If anybody that's out there that is not subscribed, all I got to ask is why. You see how much fun we're having. Come in and join the fun with us all. Don't be shy. And tell your friends and family, join in. I mean, you heard me earlier tonight. If you've been here this long, I talked about it. One of the first words that people have when they get a controller in their hand and a car on the track, the first words that kind of come out of their mouth are fast or fun. Guaranteed. So let's get out there and have some fast fun. Thank you, guys. Have yourself a good evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Look for the poll tomorrow night to come out with the chassis preference on what body style we want for the giveaway cars, and the first ever Sunday slot car showcase. And I'm going to do my OG case #1 to start off that 12-week series of the ones that we have up on the wall, showing off all the car collection on that. So anybody needs anything, I put my email down below in the description of this video, scottdanielmo@gmail.com. Please reach out. I'm more than happy to help answer any questions. If I don't know the answer, I have plenty of smart people that are subscribers that are my friends on my channel that will be willing to help. So we will get you the right answer one way or the other. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe. Look for the 2 new videos and the video tomorrow night and the poll to come out, and be sure and get your vote in on that. And until then, guys, light some sparks and melt some plastic. Let's have some fun. Have a good night. Bye-bye.